What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday evening, 6 p.m. Well, 6 p.m. where I am. I saw in the chat some people are in New Zealand, some people are in Oklahoma, some people are everywhere. Well, thank you guys so much for joining today. Look at what we did. I got it all done today. I thought I wasn't going to get it done till tomorrow, but I got it all done today. Got the panels up, got the plaques back up on the wall. The lighting's up. You just can't see it because it's on the corners, but I'm going to add more in between the panel slats. We just need to order more lighting. Yeah, trying to put more back into the channel, give you guys a better experience from start to finish, more aesthetic, give the view a little depth. But look, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are a tremendous community, and it's cool to be here, and it's good to see you guys here. Let's see, Mystic, Jim Bear, Mona, Bree, Jonah. Who am I missing? Earl's daughter. I think Glenn Coco should be showing up soon. If I didn't mention your name, please forgive me. I can only see so many on the chat. As we go along, if you guys want, I'll make sure to get to them. I can get to the supers like a little bit in the middle and then again at the end. And then I really enjoyed yesterday's just Q&A and engagement at the end. I want to do that again. Time for you guys to ask questions, whether it's about me personally, I'll answer. And then, or it's about the case itself. We got a lot of good stuff to look at. I was rewatching Baron Coleman's episode where he went over the timeline. He did, he's got his own mind and things that stick out to him. And there's some things that stick out to me that he did not touch on. But we're going to get into it. I did make a part 2. So I know you guys probably saw that there was 2 lives scheduled for today, a 3 and then a 6. However, because of how weird YouTube was yesterday when I did the live on the Tucker Carlson Huckabee interview, I just didn't want to take another chance of having that happen again. And so I just pre-recorded it and then I put it up. And I made sure to pause and play and comment as much as I could. What's interesting is that even though it kicked us off in the stream and it kind of interrupted the stream and said there was copyright issues, usually when you're done and you go to process it and submit it and like have it fully uploaded, it has to pass these like copyright, AI, it reviews your video, language, everything like that. And then it like makes sure that ads can be monetized on that episode. If there was something wrong with that episode at all, it would have dinged there. It didn't. It usually will send like a prompt and tell you like, hey, you got to cut this out. You got to do this. You got to change this. There's like, remember when I added the Mikey McCoy dance video and there's the YMCA? I totally forgot in the moment, like you can't have copyrighted music on there. So it dinged me, but then it was like, temporary, no monetization, but it gives you a prompt and you can fix it. And then it fixes it, puts it back up. That didn't happen with yesterday's episode. It's green lights, it's thumbs up. So I don't know, man. I have no idea why it happened. I'm beginning to think that it was just to mess with the live stream. Because if it really was a copyright, they would have told me I had to fix it. I would have had to delete it. I couldn't have it up. It's freaking bizarre. But I hope you guys can go back and watch that. I thought I did a great job on it. I added some things that Ian didn't add in his version. So please, and then also, while we're here and we're coming in, please, you guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe. This is the best way. That's all I really ask. This is the best way you can help this channel is to like, subscribe, and watch the videos. That's the best thing you guys can do. All right. And yeah, I'll get to the super chats in the middle and at the end, and then we'll do like a really good engagement at the end. I really enjoyed that. And then we will be doing a members only live tomorrow. We have like 50 members. So tomorrow will be our first members only live. And we'll talk about it at the end. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to pull up let me make it big for you guys. Okay. All right. So this is the timeline. Okay. And it goes back to February 15th, 2024. October 12th, 2023. Okay. And this is when Charlie Kirk questions Israel on October 7th on the PBD podcast, right? And if we click on this, I think I showed this a little bit in yesterday's clip when we were doing the end. Yeah, I did show it. I can show a little bit of it for you.
Never happened again. Well, that's what we thought it was never going to happen. 9/11. Before 9/11 happened, nobody thought 9/11 was going to happen.
Yep.
So I just have way too many questions that makes me think about what the motives are. And if we go dark, I'll put all those things out there.
Yeah.
How did these guys not know this was taking place?
So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this story, I still have the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that is an IDF soldier, right? The whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch is too.
Yep. And so we watched this in full yesterday. I'm not going to play every clip in full or else we will not get through it all. But I mean, that's not the only place he said it, you guys. He says it right here as well. Okay. And this is same year.
Of what happened when Hamas attacked Israel. They came through with trucks and they came through with paragliders as well. We also know that Mossad is one of the best intelligence agencies in the world. We actually send our own intelligence agency to get trained over there by them. And I do understand that it was a holiday for them, but how does the best intelligence agency in the world basically not even see this coming, knowing as well that there's been situations like the Lavon affair, USS Liberty, and deliberate attacks by Israel on the American government? How do we know that they're just not trying to pull our strings?
Yeah, this is what made me go viral last week, right? Which is hilarious because I'm super pro-Israel, but I'm not afraid to ask questions, right? 20 hours
So the PBD podcast was a week before this.
Response for the IDF to go to some of those kibbutzes. That's worthy of asking questions. Now, I said explicitly in that video clip that I went very viral that I'm not suggesting that Netanyahu did something intentionally.
Right. It could have been by accident. He could have been double-crossed, whatever. And I think Charlie was just being very generous with that. All right. So that's October 12th. And then a week after is that that live, that Q&A with that college student right there that we saw. Then it jumps all the way down to February 15th, 2024. And this is when Charlie Kirk sends private message to Candace Owens saying Catholicism is sounding better and better. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, we do know that he was not just, interested in the architecture. He clearly had, and I'll get into the priest coming over the night before when we get to that date. But yeah, she wasn't the only one that he spoke to about this. You know what I mean? There was lots of other people that can verify that, yeah, he was going to mass. He was praying the rosary. He was doing a lot of things. All right. October 14th, 2024. So a year after the October 12th, first time he kind of publicly takes a stance against October 7th. Kirk claims U.S. intelligence agencies run the country. Which one is this? This is, let's see. I don't know if it's going to take it right to it. Let's see.
No, the Central Intelligence Agency is actively involved in mind manipulation of people here domestically. And that is completely against the CIA charter. You must understand, we have Congress, and they're just kind of like a peanut gallery. And then we have a super government that exists above Congress of the Department of Defense, which is the Pentagon, the Central Intelligence Agency, which is its own thing out in Langley, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They run the country. The intel agencies run the country.
100%.
I agree.
People don't run.
100%. And just take that into consideration when we're considering, could they really plan, pull off, and then do the cover up and the psyop on all of us regarding the Charlie Kirk assassination? 100%. Yes. All right. Next, we have in May, so in spring 2025, Turning Point USA cancels bulletproof vest contract for Kirk. I didn't know he had a bulletproof vest contract. That's interesting. So a supplier who had been providing bulletproof vests to Charlie Kirk for all campus tours reported that Turning Point USA suddenly canceled. Huh. I thought he never wore a vest. That's interesting. I read through this whole timeline, but I didn't click on every little tab. I know on that day he didn't wear a vest. We could see, I mean, I'm not being graphic. We could see his nipples through his white shirt. We can see his chain and his necklace through his white shirt. So we know for a fact he wasn't wearing them that day. So when asked why, TPUSA stated that Charlie wanted to go a different direction by getting an army vest instead, apparently referring to a metal army vest. No way, with plates. Oh my God, those things are insane. I mean, we wore those in the Marine Corps. Uh, those are intense. There's no way he would wear that. That'd be so obvious. Apparently referring to a metal army vest. The supplier found this decision nonsensical. Despite this change, Charlie was not observed wearing any bulletproof vest during, but I don't remember ever seeing him with a bulletproof vest before that. I'm not going to pull it up right now, but I can definitely look back and I can report on that back to you guys in a later video. All right, here we go. Let me make sure you guys are still seeing it. You are, and you're seeing me click on it. Okay, cool. All right. Next. So May 1st, 2025. Yep, we have Department of Defense awards contract to Accurate Energetic Systems for miniaturized extra small demolition charges. So that's when it starts. Let me type this in. Hold on one second. I'm going to type this in. Accurate Energetic Systems Plant, Tennessee. And then I'll share the screen with you guys. Let's see. Let me see images. Okay, so this is intense. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, you can. All right, I'll click on like one at a time, and then maybe it'll let me click to the next. No, it's going to take me right to it. So this is the plant. So when we talk about the exploding mic theory, okay, I hope all of you know that this is so cool. Looking at the background, it looks so good. My wife's amazing. Okay, she picked it out, and I put it up. But I mean, she has great taste. So thank her. She might be in the chat somewhere. I don't know, but it looks great. This is really cool. It's going to look better too. But so, you know what? And I'm kind of tired of like modifying my words. I'm tired of it. It's ridiculous. If they can get to us to modify our speech, how is that any different than controlling our speech? Okay. I'm not going to cuss. That's not what I mean. But you know, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, and all these other individuals have no issue on their platform saying Israel. I know Barron and Coach are a little apprehensive and don't do it, but you know, I've just been thinking about it and how bad that bothers me. That in the United States, freedom of speech. I'm an American. I've fought for this country. I served, and I can't say the name of another country. I mean, just how bizarre is that? So we'll see. All right. Israel had and has had the technology of exploding pagers. They did it on Hamas. The technology was over 10, 15 years old because they were in circulation for a decade before they got armed and were used. And they also did it with walkie-talkies, but I don't think anyone was killed or injured in that explosion. But the exploding pagers one, and they have footage of it. I can't show it, but I recommend everyone go look at it and go, huh, that looks pretty similar. However, pagers are on your hip, okay? They're not on your lapel, so it's not going to look identical. But, I mean, it's a shape charge. It wasn't a radial burst. Yeah, and most of the people did die or were severely, severely injured. But so they've had the technology. The same individuals and the same government that we think had a part in this, the ones that were exerting all this power and pressure over Charlie, it just so happens that they have actually tested this, used this in real life on an enemy, and they have this technology and proof of concept. It worked. So, I mean, just come on, guys. People that are still like, oh, it doesn't make sense to not think this. It means you have no brain to not like, wow, that does look like what happened to Charlie, and Israel is who we think might have done something, and they did have the technology and they did use it and it was successful. Like, let's just let's just connect the dots. Let's be honest. So anyway, they have the technology. Accurate Energetic Systems is the plant here in Tennessee, right? That filled this government contract in May of 2025, which is a micro shape charge. So it's a directed explosion. It wouldn't be a radial explosion. And with John Bray, and I can go over his whole theory, and he just went on Trigger Smart again to do like follow-ups. It wasn't like that much new. It was pretty much just kind of the same. I also didn't finish it, so I need to go finish it before I guess I say that whole thing. But I think his theory is airtight and solid. It's way more plausible than Jesse on Fire's, like they squibbed it and they faked it, right? But so there's two things that happen. If you notice the picture of Charlie Kirk, let's see if we can do this while I explain it to you guys. The Charlie Kirk at UVU. CK at UVU. Let's go images. Let me see if I can get him sitting down. Man, it's going to make me type his full name. So we got Charlie Kirk at UVU. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, let me share this tab. Let me zoom it in. Notice, look at, so what you see on top of the shirt is very small. Oh my God, that's just my face. What's going on, guys? I'm pulling a Baron. Sorry. All right. All right. So what you see on top, this little black thing is just the microphone part. This is for recording. This is for the audio system there that's projecting into the crowd. But this little mic and what's behind it is that bigger piece that looked like the same dimensions that are in Butch Hibbs's pocket before the event when he takes a picture with Charlie Kirk. So John Bray explains that two explosions happened. The first, and look at how it's put on, very weird. And I think that is why we see the anomalous direction of the explosion that we did. Okay. So you guys can see me. So he has it on his lapel. Normally it's flush and flat against the shirt. Here it's not. It's crooked and tilted like this. And so if there's two explosions, one was supposed to, and this is why we know, or we believe that the whole neck of steel Superman thing, that was an impromptu pivot when a piece of shrapnel of the mic hit him in the neck. It wasn't supposed to. What John Bray puts forth, and his theory is that it was supposed to be two explosions. One was just supposed to separate it from the body so that then when the shape charge went off, it was supposed to propel it through his center mass, and it would look like a 30-06 hit him center mass. Obviously, no one was actually firing a 30-06, but that's what the story is that they were going to tell, because that's the weapon that is linked to Tyler Robinson, heirloom with DNA and everything on it. That links that weapon directly to him, and just like Lee Harvey, right? Airtight. Close it. We're done here. But when the explosion goes off, because it's crooked on his shirt, it goes off at an angle. When the shape charge goes off, it doesn't propel into his chest or center mass. It shoots across his neck, and a piece of shrapnel catches him in the meaty part of the neck. Okay. And so, yeah, so the Accurate Energetic Systems plant, cyclonite is the explosive material that was used, right? And when we see them come over and they start like taking things off of him, kind of covering him up, and why they paved over the crime scene the next day. Well, I'll get into that in a little bit of why they would do that if there was all this evidence and this material that's toxic and could cause seizures. Okay. But let me go back to the timeline. But I wanted to show you a picture of how the mic looked on him and why it was so, why we saw what we saw on the day of, but it wasn't supposed to happen that way. So the plant here that filled that military contract to develop these micro shape charges, and how they would do it is the battery in the pager is like so big, right? And same with the Rode mic. Well, they would take that battery out. They would replace it with a battery that was like 70% the size. just 30 or 20% missing. And then with that 20 or 30% missing, and you wouldn't know how it functioned, it would function the same. You wouldn't be able to tell. It wouldn't like work any less or hold any less charge. It would, by all means, it would be the same. Okay. But with that little extra space, that's where they would put the shape charge and the micro shape charge. Well, this plant, the people that filled it, right? And we'll get to when it got picked up, but it started on May 25th. That's when the contract was placed. Well, 30 days after the Charlie Kirk assassination. So, and Jack, well, we think Butch Hibbs. Oh, I hope I didn't say Jack earlier. I meant Butch Hibbs is the one that had the road mic in his pocket, which is Jack Hibbs's brother, Butch Hibbs. Well, on August 24th, I think, or 25th, we'll look at the timeline, is when this contract was completed and filled and picked up. We believe it was picked up, okay? And then 30 days after the September 10th, this plant and everyone in it explodes. Like 16 to 17 people, maybe 18 people, I think it says right here. And it was just decimated, right? This is what it looked like before. There it was. And then on the right, that's what it looked like after. Just extremely, oh no, I don't want to play the video. No. All right. Completely gone. Here's a weird thing though. The plant manager was transferred. So the plant manager that was there during the filling of the contract and the completion of the work of the shape charges was transferred the day before the explosion. How evil does someone have to be to transfer a brand new guy for his first day and the plant explodes? So he was literally transferred there, just to cover it up. And it's much like how they covered up the crime scene at UVU. You can't go and check. You can't go see. This plant's gone. Everything is gone. Completely blown up. Completely gone. All right. So that was on May 1st, 2025. Now, in May 2025, TPUSA fails to file 3 or 4 990 forms. I think for Turning Point Action in TPUSA, that was what Wolves in Finance. Wolves in Finance. Did TPUSA commit fraud? And then Wolves in Finance, Turning Point fraud gets worse. We've seen those. I'm not gonna. You guys have seen those. I want to get through. It's like a year or two of information here, so I want to make sure we get through it all. This is just everything leading up to it. As we get closer, I'm gonna have a lot more information to expound upon. Okay. So on May 23rd, 2025, Egyptian military plane SU-BND arrives in Provo, Utah. That is interesting. Let's see. Here is the flight log. Is it not highlighted? SU-BND, Cairo. Let's see, where, on what date? Wait, let me go back. On May 23rd. All right, let's look. May 23rd. Boom. Wait, where's May? February, March, April, May 23rd. Paris to Goose Bay. Oh, here it is. May 23rd. So Minot to Provo. Yep, SU-BND. And then it looks like it just stays in Provo from May. Wow, it stays there from May to September? It just stays there. It does. And then it leaves on September 13th to Goose Bay. Where's Goose Bay? YYR. You guys might know. Throw it in the chat. I don't know where Goose Bay is. Sorry, guys. Let's go on to the next one. And, well, they got flight radar in here as well. Oh, I don't have it. I haven't paid for it. Flight radar 24. Oh, it'll let you do a free trial. Not today, guys. I'm not going to set it up while we're on the computer. I almost said phone while we're on the phone together. All right. June 2025, Kirk warns Trump against bombing Iran on Israel's behalf. And this is reported by the Gray Zone. Okay, it's just an article. But remember, Candace Owens and I forget who else reported on this. he was either in the White House or on the phone, and Bibi was either on the phone as well or in the White House as well, and both had Trump's ear. Bibi, of course, was asking for a much bigger, I don't know if he was asking for a war, but he didn't just want a limited engagement. He didn't want to just bomb Fardo, okay? He wanted a lot more. Well, guess who Trump listened to? Yeah, Charlie. Charlie said, dude, trust me, I know the base. Remember, we got you elected. You're going to make everyone disappointed and mad. Everyone that got you in, you said no more foreign wars. And here we are. You're, about your first year and a half in, and you're going to go to war with Iran. And clearly not on our own behalf, not for us. We don't need to go to war with Iran. It would be clearly for Israel. Okay. Well, Trump does listen to Charlie. And I think that was one of the strikes. Well, if we look back, the first strike against Charlie was definitely on the PBD podcast, okay, in 2023. For sure, everyone saw that. Everyone in Israel, everyone here, pro-Zionist, everyone. That was strike one, okay? Then he continued to talk more about it, and he had Tucker on and blah, blah, blah. He continued to talk about Israel and what was happening in Gaza. Here, getting in the way of Bibi getting what he wants and telling Trump what to do, I think definitely a strike two, okay? And so things just continue to pile up, in my opinion, of what leads to what ultimately becomes something that Israel and those in control and in power couldn't avoid. They couldn't, if one guy, Charlie Kirk, stood in the way of them, of the plans they had to rebuild Gaza, right? Those plans that Kushner and Lutnick had 2 years, and whoever else wrote those up and designed them and put those and funded the money and raised whatever, got the donors or whatever the plan was for it. It took 2 years before October 7th that it had started. And Charlie's going to get in the way of that. Charlie's going to get in the way of a regime change with the Ayatollah in Iran. Charlie's going to get in the way of Bibi getting what he wants. I mean, come on. Did you guys see I played a clip. If you did see the second part 2 of the Tucker Carlson Huckabee interview, Bibi is one of the reasons we went to Iraq, when we went to war with Iraq. Israel, the Mossad, and Bibi are the ones that put forth the weapons of mass destruction, BS, information, intelligence. And he was testifying in Congress and appealing to Congress that we had to go to war with Iraq and take out Saddam Hussein because he has weapons of mass destruction. And he clearly was part of 9/11, and even though there's completely no evidence of that. And in fact, there's a lot of evidence to the contrary. And Tucker totally puts Huckabee in his place. And Huckabee goes like, I don't know that that's true. Such a slime. Yeah, we all do. And he's the ambassador. Come on, like you don't know. Good. Come on. All right. Let's continue. Oh, please, guys, let me see something. All right, we have 362 people here. Please, everyone, can you guys do me a favor and just hit the like and subscribe? It is how you can help this channel. You guys don't need to do anything else other than watch my stuff, my content, and then hit the like and subscribe. All right. We'll go to the next data point. So that's June 2025. Kirk warns Trump against bombing Iran. And he listens. Trump listens to Kirk. Okay. Now we got July 2025. Former Israeli Defense Forces IDF soldier Erica Mindell is appointed as TikTok public policy manager for hate speech. Let's see. This is just an article. Let's see if it's short or long.
There is a note here from my producer, from Erica Mindell, who is an American Israeli Jewish former IDF soldier currently serving as that's her name, right? Erica Mindell. She is the public policy manager of hate speech, and she's been at TikTok since July of this year. And she's like, yeah, whatever, I'm an IDF soldier, and it's now war, and we own this space. So of course the deal is going to go through if they're already putting IDF soldiers in control of monitoring our speech, which means we only have to get louder, and maybe we'll just choose a different platform in general if this is the direction that they want to go in.
Yeah, you know what? If we do have to choose a different platform, then that's what we'll do. July 11th, TPUSA Summit. Charlie Kirk tells Tucker Carlson to go Max regarding Israel before Tucker goes on stage. I don't think it's supposed to say his. And yeah, this is where Megyn Kelly actually says it's
Tucker
true.
got criticized by the pro-Israel crowd for his remarks at the Turning Point event. Charlie also had threats from donors thereafter saying, if you don't get rid of Tucker Carlson, like, we're done. And he had received some threats about that even before Tucker's appearance. And he said, well, I'm bringing him anyway. And that's all been documented. This is kind of water under the bridge, but I'm showing it to you for a different purpose. Tucker on that broadcast said the following about his backstage conversations with Charlie before he went out there.
Before that speech that I gave in July, we had a conversation about this backstage right before I went on. And I was fulminating and getting all red in the face like I often do, to my shame. And I was mad.
This clip is only 3 minutes, but at the end, it actually shows it. So we're going to watch the whole thing.
Thinking about this and thinking about the effort by the neocons in the United States to draw us in to another forever war with Iran. Not a defense of Iran, of course. It's merely an acknowledgement that we've done this before. This happened in Iraq, which we entered into at the behest of those same foreign policy strategists, and it didn't work. And so I was going on at some length backstage with Charlie, and I said, probably not going to talk about that. I'm not going to torture you. I know your donors hate this when I say that. And also Epstein was in the news, and it was clear to me that, Epstein's probably not like a Mossad agent or something, but Epstein clearly had contact with Israeli intelligence and American intelligence and French intelligence, but the only one you're not allowed to.
And this was a while ago, so we know now that he clearly was part of the Mossad. So
talk about is Israeli intelligence, but it seemed true to me, and I had done some work on that. And I knew a bunch of people pretty close to that story, so I thought that, and I said that to Charlie, and I said, but I'm not going to say that because I don't want to make your donors mad. I know it's just going to be like an endless.
And we know this part. Let me jump to the actual clip of it, which is right here.
It is.
Go back.
You guys hear that? It's up as loud as it can be. I heard it. He said, "Go, Max."
It's quick.
Oh, let me go
It
back.
just happens. Here it is.
All right.
Go back.
Go Max, and they're both there. And so Megyn, remember, they were lighting up Candace for saying this, and thank goodness Megyn came and confirmed that it is true. All right, let me exit out of this. I got to minimize and then go back. All right. You guys can still see it, right? Yes. Okay. I want to make sure you guys can see it, so I'll take my face away as we're doing it as I'm going through the timeline. Okay, and that's July 11th, TPUSA Summit. Next, Tucker Carlson speaks at TPUSA event, branding, Jeffrey Epstein as an Israeli intelligence asset. All right, there's the speech. I don't know, it'd be long. I want to get through more of this, okay? So this is for sure just laying the groundwork of how the discussion with, for sure, Candace, Tucker, and Charlie was intensifying in the months and weeks and days leading up to UVU and October 10th. Megyn hadn't been as outspoken about it until like a couple weeks before, and that's when she goes on with Charlie on his show, and I've played that before. Let's go back. All right. And that was also July 11th. So now we got July 12th, 2025. Kirk is bombarded with infuriated messages from Zionist donors. And it's reported by the Gray Zone for platforming Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and Dave Smith at the TPUSA Student Action Summit. Kirk was bombarded with infuriated text messages and phone calls from Netanyahu's wealthy allies in the U.S., including many who funded TPUSA. Like, do you guys remember what is her name? Is it Lori Cardoza Moore? Yeah. Including, I said that they treated him with contempt, ordering him to fall back into line. He was being told what you're not allowed to do, what you need to do. And it was driving him crazy. He was frightened by the backlash. Yes. Next, we have Dave Smith debates Josh Hammer. See if it's a small, let's see if it's a small clip. Because if you guys haven't seen this, this is freaking, oh no, it's the whole thing. All right. Well, go back and watch it, you guys. If you like watching Josh Hammer get hammered and Dave Smith just annihilate him. And that just like goes to show you. So Charlie had just moderated that event, that debate, and they want us to believe that he was present for that and watched how bad Josh is at debating and debating specifically on Israel. And that was supposedly the topic in which Charlie was asking Josh and Dave, or not Dave, but Seth Dillon and all these others to help him formulate his responses and rebuttals and how to handle difficult questions from students that were going to be on this this tour, these campus tours. Go watch it. Josh is horrible. Charlie is not going to ask him for help. Not at all. And so my belief, my opinion, that whole chat that was created to help him prepare for this campus tour. No, it was created to surround Charlie and to be bombarded by multiple people on this topic alone. And then that Zoom call that happened. It wasn't to refresh in the last minute to sharpen his skills. No. It was to get him in line. They were going to try everything they could before they put Fort Huachuca plan into action. Okay. Yeah. I will get to your super chats halfway through and then again at the end. So yeah, if you guys want to ask questions or comments, put them in and I'll get to them halfway and then at the end. Okay. All right. Let's get to the next one. Nice. We got 420. Please hit the like and subscribe if you guys are just coming in. I appreciate it. All right. So now we got July 18th, 2025. UVU chapter of Turning Point USA requests to have Charlie Kirk speak at late notice. Yeah. So we know Candace said these events get planned 6 months to a year in advance. Always. Okay. This one didn't. July 18th, July, August, September 10th. That was July 18th. That's 2 months. So just less than 2 months. It's like 7 weeks. Yeah. 7 weeks to plan this, the very first tour. Why wouldn't the first tour, the first stop been planned way further in advance, and then the later stops on the tour be planned after that? Yeah, that was the very, we know this from Candace and others. The UVU September 10th was the day of so many firsts and so many lasts. It was the first time they did everything and the last time they did it too. But it was just a coincidence. And they like to blame Charlie. Charlie he was so ambitious. He just wanted to try something new. And Candace went over that. The whole camera that was put up behind him that had never been there before, that was supposedly because they wanted to try live streaming it for the first time because Charlie's so ambitious. Candace is like, Matt, what are you guys talking about? They've always been live streamed. You guys, you're being ridiculous. That's a total lie. Anyway. All right. Yeah. Okay. Next one, July 20th, 2025, Egyptian military plane SUBTT lands in Omaha, Nebraska, from Cairo through Paris, then departs to Lincoln, Nebraska. By the way, you guys, nothing good happens in Lincoln, Nebraska. I've driven through there and I didn't like it. Okay, if you're from Nebraska, we still love you. It's all good. I just didn't enjoy my time there. And I'm glad that I got out of there alive. So, but anyway, I digress. All right. Lincoln, Nebraska. SBUBTT. And that was on, what was the date? My bad, guys. I should have, July 20th. July 20th. Let's see it. July, May, July 20th here. Yep. So from Cairo to Paris, Paris to Omaha, Omaha to Lincoln. And then it says from Lincoln to Wilmington, and then Wilmington back to Cairo. I wonder what they were bringing in. Probably people, maybe supplies. I mean, yeah. All right, next one. We got July 26, 2025. Egyptian military plane SUBTT departs from Wilmington. Oh, Wilmington, Delaware, headed back to Cairo. Okay, so that's where it was. Wilmington's in Delaware. And that's where and Delaware, you guys, is just such a weird place for so many weird things. Like, I mean, we can get into that another time, but yeah, very suspicious stuff that happens in Delaware, especially regarding these planes and that company where they paint planes. And yeah, it's just nuts. Let's see if it even says that in there. Candace Owens in Delaware court. Oh, let's read this. So SUBTT departs from Wilmington, Delaware on July 26th, headed back to Cairo. This departure occurs during the period when Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron released to the Financial Times that they are suing Candace Owens in a Delaware court. The lawsuit was announced on July 27th, the day after the plane's departure. The plane had stayed in Wilmington for one night after arriving from Nebraska. There is speculation that a French dignitary may have been on this plane, given that a French company, Satis, owned the hangar where the plane was stored in Wilmington. Yeah. Okay. August 2025. Kirk believed Netanyahu was trying to cow him into silence as he began to publicly question Israel's overwhelming influence in the United States. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. It doesn't say, but yeah, influence in the United States. In the weeks leading up to his assassination, Kirk had come to loathe Netanyahu, regarding him as a bully. Kirk was disgusted by Netanyahu's influence in Trump's administration. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this language is pretty strong. It's not direct quotes. We're definitely reading into things, but I agree. I mean, it's just this person's opinion, and I agree with the opinion. Next, we have, this is also in August, Kash Patel fires and guts Utah FBI leadership. That's interesting. Let's see. You guys can see it, right? I'm doing good. All right. And the stream looks good. Cool. Yeah. So we know that this has happened many times too in the past, before an event, right? They change leadership, whether that be in the Secret Service, the FBI, the CIA, local law enforcement, governors, attorney generals, the doctors at UVU, at Timpanogos, things, and in other, false flags, or in other incidences, whether it be mass shootings or like Oklahoma city bombing, like there's always this kind of anomalous behavior that happens before. It's like they're setting up for the psyop and for the cover up. Okay. I don't know if I want to read that whole thing because I want to get through this, and we're already at 44 minutes and we got a lot to go. All right. In August 4th, 2025, the Hamptons meeting takes place where Kirk is pressured over Israel. Yes. And we know that. Let's see.
Love to know. And again, anybody who has the ability to pull the files, maybe you just work at the airport. I really would like to know who was on that plane. I think this July 20th date is very important.
Well, that's obviously
very important.
not what we're talking about.
I think the post TPUSA conference, if you were so brave and you loved Israel and you understood that your job is to be a good little goy and do what we say, I miss you. Do you want to go to rehab? But that phone call wasn't coming in from mom or dad. It was coming in from Bibi Netanyahu. And that's kind of terrifying, actually. Bibi Netanyahu is like pretending to be your friend. Hey, come to Israel. And how do we know that happened? Because Bibi told us himself. So this is not in dispute, right? Bibi raced out of the gate to establish Charlie Kirk as like Israel's.
That's right. So I don't know why that's not in the timeline, you guys, but let me minimize and back up. Let's see. Let's see if it says it in the side over here. Okay, I'll read it. Let's see. The Hamptons, where Charlie Kirk is where he faced intense pressure from pro-Israel donors and influencers over the shifting positions on Netanyahu and Israel. Attendees included Bill Ackman, who's the host, Seth Dillon, Josh Hammer, Natasha Hostorf, Xavier Durousseau, and others. Kirk was confronted about hosting figures like Dave Smith, Tucker Carlson, at TPUSA events. During the meeting, Netanyahu called Kirk and invited him to Israel in what sources describe as an under duress situation. Kirk was also offered massive new funding, and we know that because Andrew Colvett told Candace Owens. Where's that? TPUSA where's the funding? Massive new funding from Netanyahu to take Turning Point USA to the next level financially. Kirk rejected both the Israel trip. Look, I'll keep reading that, but guys, check this out. We know and I brought this up, I think, in the other video. When I played the debate, that interview that Candace did with that one rabbi, and they kept trying to get her to commit to watching this documentary on October 7th, which is just like force indoctrination, force propaganda. They want to show you like just horrific, gruesome images. And that's what like all of these like Jewish directors and producers over, from the end of World War II to the present day, like World War II and the Holocaust is one of the most like publicized, and there's more movies on it than I think anything. Like you could just name a million of them, not literally a million, but a lot. And what it does, they make people, so like politicians, if they're going to be part of AIPAC and take money and stuff, they have to take a trip to Israel. Okay. So Huckabee said he's been over like 150 times. Okay. You got to go over there. You got to kiss the wall. You got to put on the yarmulke. They got to tout you out and make you go to all the Holocaust museums. They got to indoctrinate you. They got to make you feel guilty. They got to make you, have pity for them. And force you into this position, and then, force feed you this, indoctrination campaign. And they were totally, okay. So either they were trying to do that with Charlie, like, hey, Charlie, why don't you fly out to Israel? Or it's something like what Huckabee just tried to do with Tucker. Like, hey, we want to see you. Yeah, come on out. He declined. He clearly, he said he loves Israel. He's been there. Him and his wife went there. He likes being able to see where Jesus rose from the dead, everything. Okay. I like that he doesn't say what Erica Kirk said, where you can see the Bible come to life in Technicolor. I've never heard anyone describe it that way. Bizarre. And she says it like ad nauseum over and over in all these different appearances. Anyway, that he was going to have to go to Israel. For what? Why did Bibi want him to go there? I don't know, but he turned it down. He clearly thought it was either like a veiled threat, or that it was going to be something else. He turns it down, and he turns down the money. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Kirk rejects Netanyahu's funding offer to take TPUSA to the next level. Yep, that's what I just read. Reject the offer, Prime Minister Netanyahu. Yes. All right. That's August 5th. Oh, that's my birthday. August 5th. All right. August 6th, Kirk outraged in an interview with Megyn Kelly about pro-Israel pressure. Yeah, that's the one. It's just going to, man, does it actually show? Yeah.
Getting deeply offended if you say anything that doesn't align with their narrative, that it undermines their own cause. And I have to tell you, I find it very irritating because I do feel like some of us have earned the right to have some credibility on the subject of Israel and don't want to be called those names when we have some mild pushback on some of the overreaches, whether it's, whether they're winning or losing the propaganda war right now. And my contention is they've begun to lose it. And I realize it's propaganda coming at us from Hamas, but their numbers have turned.
All right. I'm going to go back to that. But so it looks like when I set everything up today, you guys, one of the things I didn't do is I didn't turn off the tracking to the camera, which makes it to where it doesn't. So I apologize if that was messing with you guys. Like if I move in and out, it would auto correct and it would like look darker than lighter. My wife just said that it was doing that. And so I fixed it. Let me just let her know it's fixed. So I apologize to you guys if that was bothering you guys. Okay. A lot of moving parts. I was working up into the very last second until we came on today. Oh, and by the way, so this is where I go to jujitsu. My professor's name is Jeremy Seda. He's amazing. Sometimes he's in the chat. He gifted me this sweater today, Immortal Jiu-Jitsu. He's an amazing Christian black belt. And shout out to Jeremy Seda. All right. Next one. I know none of you know who he is, but he'll get a kick out of it. All right. Next one. We got August 13th. Harrison Smith posts about Kirk fearing Israel would kill him. And we know that too on Candace Owens. Let's look at his tweet. Where is it? Ian Carroll reacts to embarrassing clip of Charlie Kirk avoiding Nick. No. Harrison Smith. I'm not going to name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. What date is this? August. Well, that's Ian's post is August 10th. Where does it say Harrison's post? It doesn't. Oh my goodness, I didn't share it. You guys, forgive me. It's up here. Okay. You guys were just looking at the timeline still. I'm sorry. Up here it says, I'm not going to name names, but it doesn't have the date, but I'll look at the timeline and see what date it claims it was. So that is August 13th. And did anyone watch Candace Owens' X Space where she did that kind of like live Q&A with everyone on X back in like, I don't know, October, November, I think it was. Harrison comes on and he's totally throwing shade. I think Harrison's the guy that works for InfoWars. So, I mean, we see what happened to Alex Jones and what he did and InfoWars, what it's become since Charlie Kirk's assassination, turning on Candace, right? But so someone asked him directly, like, who was your source? Who told you that? Like, do you know for sure that Charlie did say that? He said, I know for sure, but I'm not going to name my source. So we know for a fact, and I'm going to bring something up that I wrote down. Okay. Let me leave it on here. Let me pull up my email here because I wrote it out. Oh, actually, I put it in my notes. So I don't have to go over there. Let's see. So the text message. No, here we go. Erica Kirk and TPUSA, they had to make up the Jezebel article issue. Okay. They had to have some sort of plausible excuse and culprit as to who they could attribute that text to. The text in which Charlie says they're going to kill me. They needed someone and something to point to and say, yeah, the crazy left. The crazy, that's what he's talking about. And this is the night before. Okay. Erica Kirk is the source for that whole thing. Okay. Erica Kirk. Without this Jezebel article and this, spell, this Etsy spell, number one, she can't tell the truth about the priest coming over to pray over their marriage. So she's got two covers. She has a cover for that. No. The priest came over to pray over this whole thing and the spell whole thing. Candace is like, nah, nonsense. And also now she has an excuse for that text. No, we weren't talking about Israel. Charlie's not afraid of Israel. He was afraid the crazy left was going to do it because of this Jezebel article. And we got to just question the source in which a lot of this BS information came out, like the neck of steel. Oh, Andrew Colvett went rogue. Nope. Erica Kirk did. That was a three-way phone call. Andrew Colvett, Erica Kirk, surgeon. Erica Kirk goes, oh, it must have been a miracle. It must have been a miracle. And then she adds all that neck of steel, Superman, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I read that part. Okay, cool. Let me get back to it. That was, so I guess this is the first text. There's another text that goes out the night before. So this is in August 13th, 2025 is the Harrison Smith post about the Kirk fearing Israel would kill him. Okay. Let's see. Egyptian plane, SUBTT, flies from Paris to Omaha, Nebraska, then to Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm not going to click on that. Let's see. Timpanogos Regional Hospital announces new CEO, Andrew Zanger. Yeah, like I said, in the weeks, and have you guys seen, if none of you, I came to Baron Coleman's show way after the Google Trends. I think the first show I watched live was his last Google Trends episode. And then he kind of hasn't really gone back to that. That's what he's known for. That's what put him on the map. He had a lot of experience with that in his previous jobs where he was doing it for like a big chain grocery stores and things like that. A lot of bizarre things, a lot of, people that are integral to pulling this off and then covering it up in key positions in Utah, at the hospital, in the court system, were all Googled in DC and in Israel in the months, like 6 months to 3 months to the month before September 10th. Why would DC or anyone in Israel be Googling specifically by name these individuals that ended up being a part of this cover-up, part of the assassination cover-up process, so that they could contact them and make sure that they would, play ball? maybe to offer them or threaten them if they didn't, offer them money to go along. And then if they said no, then maybe threaten them. My opinion. Yeah. I mean, they would need to. You guys can go back on your time and go look at those Google Trend episodes by Baron Coleman. It's nuts how many people involved in this, or seemingly involved, in my opinion, were Googled in Israel and in DC. All right, next, August 24th. We're getting closer to the timeline, the actual day of, which is where this is what we're going to get really into it. August 24th, Operation Valhalla strike, military training exercise at Camp Ripley in Minnesota, which is weird. It's a weird data point. I don't know if, Kash Patel ends up saying, I'll see you in Valhalla. Other people say that this is a reference to some witness protection and someplace either in like New Zealand or in, I don't know. I mean, somewhere. I don't. I think it's kind of a nod to everyone involved. Everyone that planned, participated, trained, and pulled it off. Like, hey, all hands on deck. We're in the cover-up phase of this whole operation, guys. We're in the everyone needs to get on board. We all need to get on the same page. That's my opinion. It was kind of like a signal, kind of like in 33 hours. In 33 hours, guys, we just happened to find him. Okay. Next, we're going to go to also August 24th. Let's see if he says it. Yeah, here we go. August 24th is when Brian Harpel says security planning for UVU event starts today. Let's listen.
Here we go. All right, I'm going to play about a minute of this. You can hear the date where the intense preparation begins.
We generally, the permitting process and all that goes on behind the scenes. And then there's questionnaires that are filled out that there was a lot of busy work. And then so, kind of like in the military, what you did, we create forms that, hey, let's get this information up front. Mm-hmm. And so that we have a duplication process so that we can confirm it. And so we started our first, before that one, the 24th of the month prior.
They started their preparation the 24th of the month prior. Recall.
All right. So on the Sean Ryan interview, but also on the Gary Melton Paramount Tactical interview podcast is when Brian Harpel brings that up. But what's interesting is Sean Ryan was a former operator himself. I mean, I don't know what Gary did particularly. He might have been Green Beret or something like that. But I mean, Sean Ryan, much higher, Navy SEAL. When Brian Harpel says that they started in earnest in preparation on August 24th, Sean is like 2 weeks. Baron didn't play it here, but he goes, no. Okay. Yeah. No. Everything else started long before that. All the documentation and the communication and the intelligence gathering and da-da-da-da-da. When Sean asked him the question initially, that was your time to say the beginning. When did you start the preparation? He didn't think I don't think he's that smart. I really don't. I really don't think Brian Harpel's that smart. He says August 24th. And then when Sean pushes back and goes like, what? 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks? That's insane. And he goes, no. I mean, we started longer, much further back, but that's when like in earnest we started. Yeah. Next, we're going to go to the next one. All right. Here, August 25th. Contract delivered from Accurate Energetic Systems munitions facility. And I think this might be the flight. No, okay. So this is just the contract that it was completed. Well, that says potential end date, but it says completed here in the upper right-hand corner. I wonder if they're going to put that someone they think picked it up. Yeah, private jet NS-77PS departs from Heber City, Utah for John Toon Airport, Nashville, the closest airport to Accurate Energetic Systems. Let's see if it says who lives near or in Heber City. A Cessna Citation XLS business jet departs Heber City Municipal Airport and arrives at John C. Toon Airport in Nashville, Tennessee at 1:07 p.m. local time on August 25th. This occurred on the same day the Accurate Energetic Systems contract for miniaturized, so micro shape charges, demolition charges, was delivered. AES is located within 60 miles west of Nashville in McCune, Tennessee. Well, guess who lives in Heber City? Butch Hibbs. Okay. Next, and this is all on August 25th. So now we have August 25th is U.S. government military jet 990404 departs Joint Base Andrews in D.C., Camp Springs, for Colorado Springs on the special, I think it's special access or special SAM, special air mission to Colorado Springs. Yeah, the call sign 000, which is always reserved for very, very high. Usually, what in the past 000 was JD Vance or someone else very, very high up. Okay. So that was on the 25th. And then also on the 25th, then it departs Colorado Springs and flies into Las Vegas. And this is why Candace thought that it could have been, a politician for Vegas. And that's when, they pulled up that person. I forget his name that Mitch Snow said he thought he saw. But I think Candace ended up saying it wasn't him because he was in D.C. for the roll call, but you couldn't see him at first. All right. August 26th, 2025, the U.S. government military jet departs from Las Vegas back to Colorado Springs with the RCH 658 call sign. And what does the RCH stand for? What did that stand for? It doesn't say in the description, but it does suggest high-ranking VIP individual. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And then the next one is still, this is all on the 26th, Lands Joint Base Andrews, DC, from Colorado, SAM 658. So a lot of moving parts with these planes moving high-level individuals around. All right, August 27th, Kirk rejects Netanyahu's invitation to Israel. Oh, so this is when, so earlier it mentioned, I think that's when the offer of the money happened. But here, maybe he was offered again, because it did say in that description that Netanyahu offered Kirk to go to Israel and Kirk denied, but maybe he offered twice. But, it's saying this here on the 27th of August of 2025 is when he rejected the invitation. Yeah, I would have rejected it too, 100%. All right. And then just in general, it doesn't have a date. It just says August 25 or 2025. TPUSA announces Charlie Kirk's event at UVU. And so this must have been, I think they only announced it a week or two. So it had to be the 27th or the 28th, because what we know, let's look at the Facebook post. Let's see. Hopefully it doesn't mess up my stream. All right. Let's see. It says 9/10, August 27th. It is. August 27th is when they posted it. So we're supposed to believe that little old Tyler Robinson had, 28th, 29th, 30, 31, and then 14 days. Well, less than that because the 10th. So 13 days to plan and prepare to pull off one of the biggest political assassinations of our lifetime. 22-year-old kid, never done a live fire exercise like that, shooting a target, shooting, an animal. It isn't even going to compare to a live fire shooting at a human in front of a massive crowd with all that pressure. And supposedly Tyler was able to, and so look, military people can tell you this. The closer you train to the real situation, the more you can mimic exactly what it will look like, what it'll feel like, what it'll sound like, the better your responses and your operational success will be. And Tyler couldn't and didn't mimic in any way what he was going to experience that day on the roof. And we're supposed to believe first time he does it, getting up there and doing all that, he just pulls it off. It's crazy. All right, let's see. Next one. Sorry, I had to take a sip of water. Hopefully. Actually, it's a Lotus. All right, next one. All right. We got September 2025. Robert Bowles, installed as acting SAC of Utah FBI. following the firing of Mehtab Syed and the gutting of the Utah FBI leadership, Robert Bowles was installed as the acting special agent in charge. So that's SAC of the Utah field office. Bowles, who had been in D.C. for decades, relocated to Utah for this position. I wonder who Googled all the people, places, and important locations for this assassination and cover up on the day of the 10th, who was Googling in DC. I wonder if it was Special Agent Bowles. Yeah, and he moved to Utah for this new role. The timing of this leadership change immediately before the assassination raised questions about potential coordination or advanced knowledge, especially given the inexperience of the new leadership team in Utah operations. Yeah, I agree with that. And it's not the only thing that was changed last minute. Kirk requests the Doge-style effort, not audit, oh my goodness, effort, financial audit, and removes Tyler Boyer as COO. I think that's incorrect. Tyler hadn't been COO for a while. Okay. He was already the COO or CEO or whatever for Turning Point Action for years. He had been gone for at least 2 years, and Justin Strife and Charlie Kirk were already kind of filling that role. And I think that's what it said in the email. Let's see. Nope. That's another. No, I don't want to watch the episode. I had it saved in my email, but it's like way far down now. But I'll just tell you that he did not remove Tyler Boyer when that email came out. That email was more so to tell everyone that Justin Strife was going to be the new COO. Tyler Boyer hadn't been the COO for at least 2 years. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the next. Make sure everything looks good and sounds good. Cool. All right. Let's see. September 3rd, Tyler Robinson begins planning the shooting. So he didn't even begin on the 27th. So the 3rd. So we're supposed to believe that he had 7 days. That's crazy. Apparent message exchanges between Tyler Robinson and his roommate, Lance Twiggs, disclosed that Robinson had been planning the shooting for a bit over a week. That's crazy. Roommate. How long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week, I believe. Oh, I thought he said a bit over a week, my love. No evidence of text or Discord messages released by FBI. The FBI has not released any images of text messages or Discord messages between Tyler Robinson and roommate Lance Twiggs. We had leaked messages. Oh, it's not going to show it. I have the indictment. We were going to pull that up later. I have a lot of things to show. Oh, let's just do this now because we're getting to it. Let's see. We'll go to the next one. This is September 3rd, 2025. Unusual vehicle traffic observed at Tyler Robinson and Twiggs' residence, reported by neighbors. Yes, that the week before the assassination, a lot of the neighbors later on, when interviewed about, like, did you notice anything bizarre coming and going, they said, yeah, in the weeks leading up to, or the week before, they saw a lot of weird behavior, which looked like federal vehicles, undercover police vehicles and individuals. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of weird for sure. Oh, I want to show you guys something. I'll do it right now just because. Let me pull it up, and then I'm going to show you. Let's see. Hold on. I have so many tabs open, guys. Where is it? Here we go. All right. So this is a more modern style rifle of the Mauser, okay, which is the rifle that Tyler Robinson used, okay. Let's see if I can get an older one, but this is what it looked like. All right. Pretty much. It didn't change all that much over the years. Let's see. We'll go images. Here. Yeah. GH Mauser 30-06. Oh, if I click on it, no, it moves it around. Oh, I'm not zooming in. That's so crazy. Oh, here we go. There we go. I'm going to show you guys how big this thing is. Okay. Let me go back here. So wait, why didn't it show that? Oh, when I pulled off of it, it unzoomed in. Watch this. Okay. Let's see. Anywhere from 42 to 45 inches. I'm 6 foot tall. Let's see if I can back this up, you guys. Okay, down. It would have gone up into his armpit. Okay. It would have gone up into his armpit. Oh, man. Anytime I do that, it makes it bright again. I'm going to have to fix that. I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to show you guys how ridiculous, because remember, they said that in the image, my goodness, that's bright. In the image that Phil Lyman, it just so happened that Phil Lyman, a former gubernatorial candidate, lived on the street, and it was him that found the footage. Sorry. It was his footage that captured this kid walking down the street limping. Okay. There's no way that rifle would have fit inside the pant legs and inside the shirt. It would have been all the way up into his armpit. He wouldn't have been able to walk at all. It would have been completely noticeable. And then if you think about the image of the kid walking up the stairs, that's supposedly the same kid on the same day. And we can see that he bends both of his knees. And as he's walking down the stairs in the very first photo before he goes under the tunnel when he's coming on campus, you can see the outline of his phone in his pants. So his pants are so tight, you can literally see the outline of his cell phone, but you can't see any rifle. This rifle can't be broken down with a screwdriver, ladies and gentlemen. It's anywhere from 42 to 45 inches long, barrel to buttstock. Okay. And Gary wants to have you believe that he was able to take a screwdriver, take it apart, break it down in half, and wrap it in a towel, all in 1.2 seconds before the dead sprint on the Losi Center roof, before the video starts, which is like 2.5, 3 seconds after the shot rang out, or the big bang that we heard. And we see the image of that individual running across the roof, jumping off the roof. No rifle, no broken down rifle. Won't fit in the big backpack. Even if it's broken down in half, the barrel itself is like 20 something inches long. And then the buttstock, that the part that goes onto the grip, is also 20 something inches. This is a total of 42 to 45 inches long from end of barrel to end of buttstock. Not going to fit in a backpack, not going to fit in your pants, going to be extremely noticeable, going to be extremely obvious. There's no way he had it in that Phil Lyman, Ring doorbell camera. He doesn't have it on the roof. He doesn't have it walking under the tunnel or walking up the stairs. Where's the rifle? I'm pretty sure the FBI had it already. They had it in their car. Whoever that FBI agent was that approached those two rookie police officers that had less than a year combined, after the bomb squad dogs already searched, after they did 2 searches, and then the FBI did a search. Then the FBI comes over and is like, well, no one was able to find anything. Why don't you guys go look? And then they go look and find it. Give me a break. Okay. Give me a break. And Jack Posobiec and all these individuals would have you believe that there's this overwhelming evidence. Okay. Here's the other thing, guys. The rifle that, Tyler Robinson's grandfather would have had, where is it? It would have been wooden like this. Okay. It would have been wooden. Why won't it let me click on it? Let's see. Come on. It would have been wooden like this. That one that you see on that the New York Times or TMZ had put up, that supposedly is the one that the parents saw and then ID'd as their father's, which was, an heirloom handed down to Tyler. Supposedly that was one of the things that the parents saw and was like, oh my goodness, that's my son's rifle. That my father gave that to him. That's an heirloom. That's an original World War II era Mauser 30-06. There's no way it could be anyone else. That's his. No. The picture that they found online was black and it was composite and it's a new one and it is just a random one they pulled off the internet. So ridiculous. And those photos, the family supposedly saw the photos of the guy with the hat and the glasses walking up the steps and was like, that's my son. Or what? They ID'd him from that grainy footage on top of the Losi Center running and jumping off the roof. You can't tell who that is. It sure as heck doesn't look like Tyler. The dude looks like he does parkour and CrossFit. If you see how he freaking, like an acrobatic cat just jumps down 13.7 feet and just absorbs it with his knees and then just like walks away. Yeah, ridiculous. The whole thing from start to finish is nuts. All right, let's get on with it. All right. Unusual vehicles, we did that. September 4th, Egyptian plane SUBTT arrives in Provo, Utah from Minot, North Dakota, and then home to 891st Missile Security Forces Squadron. Okay. Now we have September 7th, 2025, another flight, U.S. government military jet 990404, flight departs Joint Andrews Base, D.C., Camp Springs for Colorado Springs with the RCH 702 call sign. Brian Harple's flight from Tokyo lands in Los Angeles, and that's on September 7th. And I think so if the 10th was Wednesday, the 10th was Wednesday, 9th was Tuesday, Monday was the 7th. Okay. Yeah, Brian talks about, Baron talks about it, and so does Candace. But I want to get moving on so that we can cover everything. Shillman withdraws $2 million in funding. Okay, so this is the one that Charlie Kirk is referencing when he said donors pulled out $2 million because of how unhappy they were with his stance on October 7th, Israel, Netanyahu, having Dave Smith on, having Tucker Carlson on, telling him to go max, and then, the show with Megyn Kelly. And so they're like, oh, you don't want to do what we tell you? Well, we're going to take the money away. All right. Next. I'm trying to set this down gently. All right. That's September 8th. Okay. So that would have been Tuesday. Nope. Just kidding. September 10th was Wednesday. 9th was Tuesday. 8th was Monday. So then the 7th would have been Sunday. Yes. Okay. Yes, I can do math. I swear. All right, let's see. 2 days before Mr. Kirk's death, Mr. Shillman angrily questioned Mr. Kirk for giving a platform to Mr. Carlson and informed him he was withdrawing a $2 million pledge to Turning Point. Okay. That's also what Charlie Kirk references when he says, Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. Okay. Somebody just withdrew money and then says, I cannot and will not be bullied. They leave me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. That's on the 9th. That's the next day. So Brian Harple's flight from Los Angeles lands in Dallas. Yep. Okay. I don't need to read that. We got another flight, lands in Tucson, and I'm not going in depth on the flights. Ian Carroll has gone really in depth. Baron Coleman and Candace Owen has gone really in depth on the flights. Okay. Let's see. I already went over I did that. Sorry. I'm just exiting out some of the tabs so I can clean up everything else I do next. I already showed the Mauser. Okay. I do have the charging documents and the indictment, and we are going to go over that. I already showed you the overall length of the rifle, which is just crazy when you realize how big that rifle is and that you can't break it down with a screwdriver. So it's just insane that they try to act like it's just so obvious. And then I have pulled up on here Google Maps because when we get to this, I'm going to show you guys the distance from UVU to his grandma's house down in, what's the name of it? Well, the restaurant was Cowboy Smokehouse, but it's in Panguitch, Utah. And it's 2 hours and 55 minutes away. And somehow he did it in an hour and a half. But we'll get there. We're almost there. All right. Charlie Kirk. So this is also on the 8th. Charlie Kirk tells TPUSA and donors he is leaving the pro-Israel cause. Yes, here's the text. Let's go over it. This is, wait, let me make sure. Yeah, this is the 8th, Tuesday. Nope. Oh my God. Why do I keep messing up my math? Monday night. Monday night is the 8th. Tuesday is the 9th. Wednesday is the 10th. Okay, we got it. All right, so this is Monday night. Charlie Kirk tells TPUSA donors leaving pro-Israel cause. Let's read it. Just lost another huge donor. That's the one we just read. That is Shillman. That's Shillman, $2 million, okay? $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Someone else. Charlie Kirk, Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And then whoever this is, I wish we knew who this was, probably Josh Hammer, maybe Seth Dillon. Please don't invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing, it could even be Andrew Colvett, who knows? Frank Turek even, I don't know. Free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times. Okay. We got another flight on the 8th. Now we got here. So this is the Mitch Snow incident on the 8th. This is when Mitch Snow says that he saw Erica Kirk and Cabot Phillips at the Candle Inn Suites on Fort Huachuca on the night of the 8th. Yes, because the next morning is the morning of the 9th when he saw Cabot Phillips, Brian Harple, and others at that building on Fort Huachuca at this big high-up meeting with all like the high-up generals, or maybe not generals, lieutenant colonels, full bird colonels, higher-up officers, not like a friggin' butter bar or silver bar, which is just a lieutenant or a captain. Higher-up individuals, and then political individuals as well were there. Okay, that was on the 9th, but he saw her at the Candle Inn Suites the night of the 8th. Okay. And I agree. You're not going to forget Erica Kirk, man. Once you see her. All right. So the 9th, here we go. Kirk participates in a Zoom call with Josh Hammer and other Zionists. Let's see. I don't know. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. My bad. We'll go back. I'm not going to play it. It's Josh Hammer. I'm not going to make us all sit through that. Anyways, Josh Hammer is on the Zoom call. Well, okay, so the text already happened where he said, I'm leaving the pro-Israel cause. And the 9th, in my opinion, is when this emergency last-minute Zoom call happens. All right, let's see what it says. We got the transcript. During the last 24 hours before his death, Kirk participates in a Zoom call with Josh Hammer and other Zionists. Yeah, I think Seth Dillon was definitely on it. And we know that a rabbi in Israel that was like 4 a.m. his time was on it. And other Zionist operatives, including Bill Ackman and Sean McGuire, according to a tweet from Sean McGuire that he immediately deleted, that they had a few Zooms over the last quarter talking about Israel, anti-Semitism, and how the West wins. Okay. Well, we actually did speak for the last time. So this is Josh Hammer. This is a quote. Less than 24 hours before the assassination happened. We had a Zoom call. A friend of mine, him, a couple of his producers. It was a small call. We were literally talking above all about the anti-Israel questions he expected to receive on his campus tour. And we were kind of talking him through talking points and strategy on how to deal with these expected hostile questions. Total lie, dude. I don't believe that at all. He wasn't asking Josh Hammer or anyone else to help him perfect his talking points or his rebuttals. This was a last-minute ditch effort to get him to step in line, fall in line, do what you're told, or else. Okay? You didn't take the money. You're not going to come to the forced trip to Israel. You're not going to take part in this propaganda, forced indoctrination. Fine. You're not going to do it. You're being a bad little goyim. We're going to go next step. And I think after this phone call, in my opinion, it doesn't work. I think they get in contact with Erica Kirk. Maybe a text. Maybe she's outside the room. She's listening. This is when he comes out of the room, and supposedly she can see, well, his adrenal glands are above his kidneys, but I'm just saying, like, she can see that he's panicked. And I really don't think his adrenal glands would be firing if he's just excited. Okay. High stress, high anxiety, fight or flight has been engaged. in my opinion. Okay. And I think she tries her best to get him to do what Josh Hammer in the Zoom call and everyone else tried to get him to do, and they were unsuccessful. And so now, for such a time as this is why Erica Kirk is in his life. This is why she had trained and done everything that she had done, is in case this was needed of her, that she'd be ready and that she can activate, right? She could no longer be, silent. She fails, I think. I think at this point, he had already, by Candace Owens' own report and Barron's, by people that are near Charlie Kirk, had their marriage had already started to decline. And that's why the priest came over to pray, not because of some Jezebel article. Okay. She fails. He's flipping out. He's panicking. He sleeps in the other room, takes off his wedding ring, showers early, leaves without saying goodbye, leaves without saying I love you, leaves without giving her a kiss, leaves all of his stuff on the floor in the bathroom. And we're supposed to believe that everything was fine. I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it one bit. Next, Kirk doubts the media presentation. So this is on the 9th. Kirk doubts the media presentation of Israel in an interview with Ben Shapiro. So it says, here's a quote, Charlie Kirk. A friend said to me, interestingly, Charlie, okay, we've pushed back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border. Maybe we should also ask the question, is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question. Yeah, I bet. So this is Kirk asking Ben Shapiro. Oh, yeah, I played that in a previous one. Ben comes on his show the day before, and then he asks him if Israel's, engaging in a genocide in Gaza and in Palestine. And he said, no, by all standards and definitions, no, they're not. And but Ben also said that, Epstein killed himself and he didn't traffic anyone to anyone else. There's no evidence. There's no client list. Go back and watch some of Ben Shapiro's shows on his whole stance on Epstein and everything that they did. He thinks it was just a lone wolf, just him doing it to himself, for himself, no one else. Nuts. All right, so we're kind of at a halfway mark. Let me read some supers, okay? Does that sound good? All right, we got 8. Nice. We got some good engagement. Love it. All right, Joanne is a new member. Welcome to the team. Michelle Wicks, 5407, new member. Courtney Kimbler, V6M, new member. Welcome to the team, you guys. Tomorrow's going to be our first members only live. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to do something special. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be amazing. I can't really do an impression of Trump. Sorry. Mystic gifted 10 Black Line Brief memberships. Thank you, Mystic. You're amazing. You're a blessing. Everyone say thank you to Mystic, not just for that, for everything that she's done. She is tremendous. She is amazing. Jim Bear and Bree Baby X as well. Okay. And everyone else as well. But Mystic has above all been helping me for a long time. And tremendous help. All right, next, Alice Buchanan, P90 or 0, first time to Super Chat. Can I download your timeline? The print is too small. So this timeline is actually, let me see, I'm going to put it up here. Okay, guys. Hold on one second. All right. It's in the chat. So you need to go on to like Google and type in whokilledck.com. Somebody built this. Okay. And it's not perfect. There's some parts missing, some key things that are missing. I'm going to add things as I get to spend more time on here. But it's a tremendous tool for all of us. Okay. And let me see if I could even do this. Let's see. Oh, no. Look what I could do, guys. Tell me this is not better. It's better, isn't it? I should have tried that long before. Let me see. Oh, look how much better that is, guys. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that from now on. But that means I have to zoom out too when I click on a tab and it pulls up something to the left, to the right. So I'm gonna have to like zoom in, zoom out. But I'll do that because you're right. You guys can't see it. I can see it because I got a big screen. But all right, next. The print is too small to read. I'm going to zoom in for it for you, Alice. And then also you can go on Who Killed Charlie Kirk or whokilledck.com, and it's a total timeline there. Earl's daughter gifted 5 Blackline Brief memberships. Earl's daughter's also amazing. Glenn Coco's also amazing. Let's see. Earl's daughter. Oh, thanks for the super. Another sign is when you Google TPUSA and it's all positive now. When Charlie was alive, this wasn't so. Loving the energy, Mac. Going Max. Christ is king. Christ is king. Gotta go, Max. You gotta do Charlie right. Yeah, it is weird, right? Like any kind of opposing and negative hit pieces on TPUSA just stopped. But when Charlie was alive, I mean, he was under attack like all the time. And then we got another. Got to set it down gently. We got another Earl's daughter super. Watch Carrie Bowler's interview with Wally Rashid. More evidence of threats and coercion by Philadelphian lovers sounded just like Charlie's intervention. I will. Let me see if I can. Why won't it let me? Oh, I'm going to start doing this. Oh, my goodness. I forgot that I could do that. So watch. When I read your guys's, so I could be like, oh, Johan, new member. And then we got Michelle, new member. And then we got Courtney, new member. And we got Mystic, of course, gifting memberships. And then we got Alice Buchanan. I read that super, right? But this is a way you guys can get shouted out for doing shout outs, okay? And like your names are on the live stream and other people see it. And it kind of gives you guys recognition too, because this is our thing together. So I forgot I could do that. I just figured that out the other day. Like I said, I've only been doing this like 4 or 5 weeks, guys. Let's see. Next. This one, Earl's daughter. Yes. And then Earl's daughter. Okay. I'm going to look that up. Yeah. Wally Rashid. Okay. I'll look it up. All right. Keep getting in the super chats. I'll get into them again as we get further along. Let's get back into the timeline. I love you guys, by the way. We got 379 people here live. This is amazing. We've been at 360 and above for the majority. All right. I had to refresh my other screen, make sure the stream is going good. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Participates in the Zoom. Kirk doubts the media presentation of Israel. In interview with Ben Shapiro. Yep. Military veteran Mitch Snow allegedly observes high-level meeting. I got to zoom out because I got to click on it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I got to zoom out all the way or else it won't let me see it over there. I'll zoom in as I go back down. Okay. Mitch Snow. Let's see. That's going to be a long one. Let's look at this. Nope. Not allowed to look at that. All right. I'll just read it. Mitch Snow, a military veteran, reports seeing a high-level meeting at Fort Huachuca. Oh, I already said this. Yeah. He sees her on the 8th, right? He sees, this is the 9th. So he sees all the people on the morning of the 9th. And we got proof that he was there because there is a military police report of them detaining him. And then even when his son, that is his estranged son, was interviewed by Gary Melton on the Paramount Tactical show, the son even says himself, yeah, my dad was arrested. They called me. The military police called me. I guess I'm his next of kin or point of contact or emergency contact or something like that. Yeah. So next, this is all on the 9th. Multiple sources confirm Kirk expressed fear of being killed. 3 separate sources, including 2 with written communications from Kirk and 1 Turning Point USA donor, confirmed that Charlie Kirk expressed belief that he would be killed the day before his death. Kirk told these individuals, I think they are going to kill me. Obviously, the people he told knew who they are, okay? Or else Charlie would have needed to say who they are. Or the people receiving that text would have said, who's they? everything, the Zoom call meetings, the group chat meetings, the Hampton retreat, the Aspen retreat, the phone calls from Bibi, everything was about Israel, guys. Nothing was happening in Charlie's life that had to do with the left at this point. In the 6 months or the year, or the 2 years leading up, like nothing compared to what was happening to him because of his stance, like Candace and Tucker, on Israel since October 7th. And then everything that transpired as time went along and got closer to September 10th. So there was no need to define and explain who they are. Everyone in the conversation knew who they were. They are Israel. That's my opinion, but I think it's clearly obvious. Why wouldn't they have said, dude, who do you mean they? They who? Okay. Or Charlie would have said they and then explained. Okay. Neither of them asked, and Charlie didn't feel the need to explain. It was obvious who they were. Okay. And so Josh Hammer, Seth Dillon, Andrew Colvett, Erica Kirk, Frank Turek, they're all lying when they say they, and then they don't tell us who they really are. And they say crazy leftists or Charlie didn't really say, but we think we know that they meant the left. No, you're lying. You're being extremely dishonest. And you know exactly what you're doing. Everything leading up to the 10th had to do with Israel. They meant Israel, in my opinion. All right, let's move on. Man, I'm trying to keep this going. I was getting bombarded by text messages. Let's see. So on the 9th, Brian Harple's flight departs from Dallas to Salt Lake at 1:42 p.m. At 12:42 a.m. or 12:42 a.m. Fort Huachuca Mountain Time. Wait, so it departs Dallas to Salt Lake. Why is it referencing Fort Huachuca at the end? Let's read. Brian Harple departs from Dallas Fort Worth International Airport, DFW, 1:42 p.m. Central Time. 11:42 a.m. Fort Huachuca Mountain Time. What? That doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does make sense. Okay. The time difference. Okay, because some people are saying that he didn't fly from Dallas. Okay. So American Airlines flight. Let's go down. The nonstop flight arrived in Salt Lake City, 3:21 Mountain Time, 2 hours 39 duration. The flight has been confirmed to have been used by Brian Harple. The timing of this flight is significant as it occurs on the same day as the alleged high-level meeting at the Fort Huachuca Fort in Fort Huachuca in the morning of around 7 a.m., where Brian Harple was reportedly seen. The flight would arrive in Salt Lake City by 3:30 p.m., allowing Harple to be present for Charlie Kirk's event at UVU later that evening. Okay. Let me make sure everything's going okay real quick, guys. Let's see. All right. Yeah, everything's good. All right. So that's the 9th. Let's move down. Day of assassination. Here we go. Let's go. This is that was all leading up to this, guys. This is going to be good. We're going to break this down because this is where we didn't know about all that stuff leading up to the 10th beforehand. None of us knew the context. So keep that in mind. All of these individuals did know the context. They had a head start. They knew what was going on in Charlie's life in the months, days, and weeks leading up to the assassination, how he had changed so much, and the threats and the pressure that was being exerted on him from all angles in regards to Israel. And they lied to us. They weren't honest about it because they knew that would point, right, to motive means an opportunity. And it's pretty telling that Bibi felt the need to come out the next day and said, hey, Israel had nothing to do with this, guys. Just saying Israel had nothing to do with this. And then let me read this letter that I'm not going to show you, but I'm just going to read it and just put a bunch of words in Charlie's mouth. Completely dishonest, right? We know now, I forget who it was that reported on that. Oh, we do know. It was John Mappin, that British guy. He said, and we did that interview, we broke down that interview. He said Charlie was warning Bibi about how the climate and how everything was changing here in the U.S. and everyone was questioning Israel and their involvement in our politics in the Middle East and the relationship in this supposed greatest ally, and that they needed to change tactics, change course. They needed to self-correct, course correct or else they were going to lose the grip on the United States population even more. But instead of doing that, they just tried to grab the grip more, right? So they got the FAR filings, the Clock Tower X, the Show Faith by Works, and they're like, no, we're just going to do more propaganda. We're going to get TikTok. We're going to use the ADL. We're going to shove propaganda. We're going to start surveilling, collecting data. We're going to use these mobile 10/7 sites, putting VR on people's heads and making them relive October 7th. We are going to have the biggest and widest propaganda campaign in history. That's what they did. That's what they're doing. And at the same time, they are now collecting data on all of us. And it's insane. Go watch Danks. Okay. He has done the best work on that. All right. Next. Let's see. Yeah. TPUSA implements new AV setup behind Charlie Kirk. Let's see. Hopefully it's timestamped.
Then I speak to the individual who I told you guys that I recognized and had taken down the cameras minute 4 after Charlie was shot, the back camera of all the ones when you take the front camera. I don't know. Again, I'm not here to read into how people might act in an emergency event, but I thought it was weird that he was there in general, actually, that he was behind Charlie the entire time. I've never seen that. He's never been behind me at an event. He's never been lingering around me at an event. And I asked about that. I asked about just his presence behind Charlie, and plus the mysterious phone call that he was seen making in like minute 3 after Charlie was assassinated. And he told me explicitly that they were trying something new that day. Like it was something new. Charlie's super ambitious. And on the AV thing, they were trying something new and they wanted.
Yeah. And I'm going to show you guys this. So let me click on this. Come on. All right. Let me make sure you guys can see it. All right. You can see it. Let me move in here. Okay. This is on the left side. So here is Terrell Farnsworth. He's the AV guy. And this is 1776 guy. This table is where they end up setting up all their equipment and all their AV control panel stuff. Every single other time when they did an event, it was on the right side. It was on the other side. They've never done it on this left side ever. Go back and look at all the events. Another first. Okay. And then there's that camera up there that they're talking about the live streaming and setting that up. That's another first. Okay. Ridiculous how many firsts happened on this day. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Of course, my internet connection got lost. Can you guys hear me in the comments? Thumbs up. Give me a yes. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Am I back? Yeah, I'm back. All right, cool. Let me set everything back up. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Let me make sure. I'm going to refresh all these. Let's see. I think it's because I did this Google web search of the picture and I'll just try not to do that. All right. Let me exit out some of these so there's less up here. All right. Okay. I got to add, let me make sure my camera and my mic are good. Yes. Yes. All right. Share screen. Hold on one second, guys. Thank you guys for your patience. I don't know why it does this. I have good internet service, so it's kind of ridiculous that this happens as much as it does. I might have to up it. I have fiber, you know what I mean? So, all right. I won't do a Google search and, get off base. All right. So this is the AV setup behind Charlie Kirk. So the camera, but also remember that table to the left, that's all brand new as well. Okay. That never happened before. Let's see. TPUSA employee. All right, I'll read it. On the day of the assassination, a TPUSA employee was positioned directly behind Charlie Kirk throughout the event. No, there wasn't. There wasn't someone directly behind Charlie. There was a camera. There was oh, man, I don't want to Google a picture to show you guys. So I think this is misreported by accident. Directly behind Charlie up there was the camera. Terrell Farnsworth in 1776, the AV guys are on the left. Dan Flood is on that platform right here, back to the right. You have Frank Turek and Brian Harple over to the right. Right at this, the canopy that was above him, it has 4 metal legs. Well, that metal leg that's to the back right, there was a TPUSA media individual with a camera on a pole that he was holding, recording Charlie Kirk, or taking still photos or recording live photo. I'm not sure, but he was there, but there was no one standing behind Charlie. No one was standing directly behind Charlie at any point during the event. Okay, so I don't know why it said that. All right, let's see. Yep, we know that the Egyptian military plane departs Provo. I don't want to go over all the military planes. I'm going to skip them. Footage shows suspect walking towards UBU. Let's see. Oh, no. Will it let me? Oh, man, I don't know. I'm not going to. Let's see. I don't want to lose connection, you guys. All right, there's just, my goodness. Actually, you know what I can do? I know what I can do, because that's a bad photo anyway. That'll take too long. All right, you guys know the photo, right? It's talking about the photo walking. Oh my God, I'll just do it because I want to show you guys. It doesn't look like Tyler Robinson. UVU shooting suspect image walking onto UVU. Let's see. You go to images. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Hopefully it doesn't screw up, guys. Oh, man. It's just supposed to be a still image. Where is it? Here we go. Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. And remember, he supposedly has this 42 to 45 inch rifle. Let me zoom in on him. Okay. And it's supposedly where? So, and there's his phone, and you can see his phone right there. Let me zoom in for you guys. Well, if it lets me. Okay. So you can see his phone right there in his right pocket. There is no weapon on him anywhere. Definitely not on this leg. This is his left leg that bends. So remember, I'm 6 foot tall, and the rifle would come up to my armpit. It would go all the way down to the floor. It would have to go inside your shoe, or it would be sticking out the bottom pant leg. Okay. And the buttstock would be all the way up here. Or you'd have to take it down with much more equipment to disassemble the rifle that you couldn't bring with you. It wouldn't be a screwdriver. But you'd have to have like half of it in one leg and half of it in the other, which is just even more ridiculous, because then how do you bend your leg at all? So he bended his left leg going down. Here's his left leg bending again. And it's not in this backpack at all. And this doesn't look like Tyler Robinson in any way, shape, or form. Not at all. Let's see. I think there's one more that shows him bending his right leg. Where is it? No. All right. Let's go back here. Hopefully the stream didn't get messed up. All right. We're good. Yeah, it did. Of course it did. Of course it did. Goodness gracious, you guys. How annoying. Okay, I can't show you any photos online. It's so annoying. I apologize. I won't do that again. I thought we could do it, and because I wanted to show you guys the picture. The TMZ one was going to be, there was some really inappropriate photos on the homepage on the TMZ website. So I apologize for that, okay? Yeah, that's not him. His earlobe is different. Correct. Let me show you guys something. Okay, some people have detached earlobes, okay? Mine are detached. Some people, my wife has attached earlobes, and they go straight from your ear and connect to the side of your face, okay? You can't change that. You can't change the way your eyes are. You can't change your lips. His lips are different. His ears are different. His nose is different, just like the whole Ghislaine Maxwell. You guys saw the photo of her supposedly in her most recent court appearance. Completely different person. Okay. And then, I mean, someone just took a photo of someone out in the world. I don't know where it was. It looked like Aspen or something, but it's probably in Israel, of someone that looked exactly like Ghislaine. I mean, just with dyed hair. I don't know who it was. I mean, we all have kind of doppelgangers, people that look like us. But clearly, that lady at that most recent court appearance for Ghislaine wasn't Ghislaine. And there's no way. You guys, that was the image that supposedly Tyler Robinson's parents looked at and saw and identified him and said, that's my son. No way. It's not clear enough. You could totally see characteristics of your son that would either identify or not identify him. There's no way they look at that and go, that's Tyler Robinson. There's just no way. Man, I want to be able to pull up a picture of Tyler Robinson so you could see his ears in comparison and his lip and his nose, but I'll lose the stream again. I don't want to do that to everybody, okay? All right, let's see. Let's go to the next one. Everyone's doing good. We still got 378 here. People live. I love you guys. You guys are doing great. Let's see. U.S. Senate votes 51-49. Huh. That's interesting. Is that what this is? That would be forced. Oh, interesting. Do you guys know who James Lee is? He has an amazing channel on YouTube. James Lee. The name of his channel is 5149. I think that's what it's in reference to. I've never put that together until now. U.S. Senate votes 5149 to kill a Democratic amendment that would have forced the DOJ to release all Jeffrey Epstein files within 30 days. Yeah, we know they tried really hard. All right. Tyler Robinson arrives at UVU campus in a gray Dodge Charger. And so here's the timeline, okay? That's at 7 a.m. and it's going to use military time. So by the time we get to 1520, that is 3:20. And that has to have been the day before. Or no, this is must have been in DC that it was referencing. Okay, but anyways, you'll see as we get further down, it's military time. So here in the morning, it's just going to be like normal. But then after 12 p.m., it's going to be like 13, 14. It's military time. Tyler Robinson arrives at UVU in a gray Dodge Charger at 8:29 a.m. No way, dude. There's no pictures of it. It's just a press conference of someone reporting on it. Oh, let's look at this. Let's see. Will it show?
We did also want to share new footage. Take a look at this. This is new footage right here of a chart.
Hold on. Let's see. I don't see anyone walking by. Do you?
A Utah resident that captures video of a gray Dodge.
Okay, there's no gray Dodge Charger, but you guys remember there was a ton of military-aged individuals that day wearing a maroon shirt. It is reported that one of the outfits that Tyler Robinson was wearing that day was shorts, maroon shirt, hat, and a backpack. That's a blue backpack. That's not the same as the black one. Okay. So, I mean, that's weird. And he supposedly changed like 7 times.
Dodge Challenger driving past the house at around 8:23 a.m. local time. This is in the early morning hours of last Wednesday, the 10th of September. This is the day of conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination. Police say they believe the suspected shooter, Tyler Robinson, drove the very same Dodge Challenger to Utah Valley University. And at about 9:57 local time, the same door cam captures what appears to be Robinson walking past the house again more than an hour later. Following the shooting, law enforcement descended on the neighborhood, searching yards and taking security footage. Robinson was arrested on suspicion of aggravated murder, felony discharge.
All right, well, okay, so I don't know why they're not talking about the kid that's walking. They're just talking about the actual car. And why does this look like it looks like a different neighborhood than the one let's see this one. Oh, that's just Governor Cox with Kash Patel. Yeah, I'm not going to. All right, the next one. Footage shows suspect walking with a limp near campus, dressed in black sweater and jeans. Man, is TMZ? Let's see. No, I'm not going to. Man, I don't want to risk it, you guys. Let's keep going. If I click on another tab that is like online, it's gonna mess up the stream. All right. But it's a witness account. And remember, so this footage is Phil Lyman's footage, and he just happened to be aware and there that day. And then he's the one that thought of it to look at his doorbell footage at the time that he looked at. Like, he would have had to have looked at that whole day. Okay. He would have had to sift through every minute to find that footage. And then why didn't he send it to the police? He has contacts. Why didn't he send it to the police? He sends it to TMZ, like a tabloid journalism. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's see. Oh, I want to show you guys something. Let's go here. Hopefully this doesn't mess up. So this is, because we're going to get to that in a minute, the Cowboy Smokehouse restaurant, which is further down in the timeline, but I just want to show you guys. This is down in Panguitch, Utah. Okay. This is how far away it is from UVU. 2 hours and 56 minutes. Okay. And another drive, it could have taken up to 3 hours and 20 minutes. So it's either 206 miles or 212 miles. If there's a manhunt, and they supposedly would have already identified the charger, he's not going to be speeding. He's probably going to be taking side roads. He's probably going to be taking a different route there than just the most obvious interstate. There's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be cops everywhere. So it could have even taken him longer than the original time. Well, let's look at how long it says it took him to get there. But like, here, let's zoom out, because I want to show you guys a really cool footage. Sorry, I'm trying to go slow so it doesn't mess with your guys' like equilibrium. I don't want anyone to get nauseous. All right, so right up here, right here is Orem. Let's see if I can go to, I'll just type it in because it'll take me right down and you guys can see it. UVU campus. The Google Maps doesn't have a good image, but this one does. There it is. Okay. This is a really good image of the campus. Okay. This is where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So this image is still either before the event. It had to have been before, because they've repaved this, and that like quote unquote trap door is gone. Wait, can you guys see this? Oh my gosh. Oh no. How long was I doing that, guys? I'm so sorry. Let's see. Bait and switch. Wait, Dodge Charger. Let's see. Did you hear? Okay, so none of you got mad at me. All right, so sorry, you guys. Let me show you. Did I show you guys I'll show you this. I'm so sorry, you guys. All right, so you can see this. This is how far UVU is right here, UVU, okay, from the Cowboy Steakhouse, which is by his grandmother's house, okay? And it would take 2 hours and 56 minutes or 3 hours and 20 minutes, but probably would take longer, okay? And we'll get to that in the timeline in a second. All right, and then here is UVU campus, because I want to show you, I want to point out a few things to you guys here, okay? Here, this is the catwalk up above that Dan Flood text is referencing, and the Brian Harple is referencing, that's above Charlie. And the UVU Chief Long, makes it a temporary criminal trespass zone. They put caution tape up there. They put one cop up there. Barron talked about that. It's in the charging documents. We can read that in a second. and they put one of the security guards up there. Okay. Now let's back out. Okay. Let's see if there's a way I can turn it. Let's go to 2D. Yes. Perfect. Stop. How do I? Oh, okay. I can't. Let's see. Man, I haven't played. So let's see if can you guys see my mouse when I like wave it over the campus? All right. So right here, hopefully you guys can see it. Can you see? I can't tell if you guys can see it. This area is where the temporary no trespass zone is, and where one of the Brian Harple's guys and a cop is. They would have been able to see this is the perch, supposedly, where Tyler Robinson took the fatal shot right here. Okay. Here is that the part of the building that the individual runs behind. So this is the walk where he would have to climb over the fence, walk over here, set up right here. Right here. This is supposedly where he took the shot from. And then I can back out because that footage where the kid is walking up and they can see someone up here is walking this way. Okay. And it looks like this building is attached when you're walking this way. These half circles, you can tell that those are landmarks, identifying markers where the person is walking this way. And he can see there's someone up there. All right. All the person had to do to get up here. Where's the fence? I think it's where is, where is that? The stairwell where they can just walk right up and step over. I think it's right here. There's a fence right here. You can't see it, but because it's at an angle, there's a fence right here. And someone can walk up this way and just hop right over, be on the roof. All right. He takes the shot here. Supposedly he disassembles the rifle, hides it, puts it in a towel or his backpack or whatever, starts sprinting across here. And then let's see if it'll let me, and it'll turn as we go. And then I can stop it right here. This is where he sprints across here, comes over here, jumps off this building here, and then runs across here. And this is the woods. Let's see right here. Let's see if I can find. This is where the camera is that takes that footage of him running and jumping off the building. Okay. And then let's see if it'll let me. It'll continue to. What is that? Okay, that's weird. It's like something hanging there. This is where he runs across in that chicken coop where he hides the rifle is right back in here somewhere. How do you turn this? Wait, let's say show your, no, I don't want to show my location, but okay, if I click this, it'll turn it. Let's see. I think it's like right back behind these trees. It could be back behind those trees. So this is the corner that footage we just looked at of him walking is like right around, I think, this corner. But this is that neighborhood where that footage of him supposedly walking is. And this is where Phil Lyman and like 25 of Phil Lyman's family members live. Okay. And UVU is literally just right here. Right here. This is a really cool image of, and then let's see, right here is the camera. There's the building. And then from this perch, if Charlie was put a little bit further this way, the shot wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. All right, let's move on. Sorry. Hopefully you guys liked to be able to see that breakdown and visualize it. Oh, I do not want to make my face and mess you guys up again. All right. All right, next one. Footage shows suspect. Yeah. Okay, Tyler Robinson enters UVU campus from the north. I have the indictment. Let's Let's look. Have you guys read the indictment? Have any of you read the indictment before? I love Charlie, but he was, yeah. Yes or no? Have you guys seen the indictment or the probable cause statement? Let's read a little bit of it, okay? Let's see. Brian Davis of Utah State Bureau of Investigations having probable cause to believe that the defendant committed the above listed offenses. And there's a bunch, right? Victim targeting enhancement, count 7, violent offense committed within presence of a child, tampering with a witness, obstruction of justice, violent offense committed in the presence of a child. I mean, just a lot of different. I mean, they just laid it on thick on Tyler. It's nuts. All right. On September 10th, at approximately 12:23 p.m., Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at a large crowd on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Counts 1 and 2. Police found the suspected murder weapon, a bolt-action .30-06 rifle, nearby. Over the next approximately 33 hours, police conducted a manhunt for the shooter until the evening of September 11th, 2025, when Tyler James Robinson surrendered to police at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. DNA consistent with Robinson was found. There's no way they could have known that. When was this done? When was the date for this? Do you guys see the date anywhere? Where's the date? I don't see the date of this filing. His date of birth. It doesn't say when this was filed, but I mean, I guess it had to have been long enough after for them to actually do DNA analysis. Was found on the rifle's trigger. After shooting Mr. Kirk, Robinson hid the gun, discarded clothing he wore when he fired the rifle, and told his lover roommate to delete incriminating text messages. Oh my God. And then it goes into this. I don't want to we can do this another day because this will take a ton of time. All right. To go over the full charging documents. Should say on the bottom on a stamp. Oh, okay. Let me go back. Let's go back at the very bottom. September 16th. Really? Okay, well, they found the rifle 33 hours after, or within, they didn't find it immediately. So a day after, so that would have been the 11th. So that would have given them 5 days to test the DNA evidence. Doesn't it take longer than that? Don't they have to send it to the FBI, like criminal forensic unit to test it, and it takes time? What's crazier is that the DNA evidence that came back shows 5 different individuals' DNA on the towel, on the screwdriver, and on the rifle. And all they had to do was take a towel from his house. All they had to do was take a screwdriver from his apartment, his condo with Lance Twiggs. And if this is his grandfather's rifle, it's an heirloom rifle that was given to him and he's used it before, or he just moved it before and he dry fired it, like kids do with guns all the times that aren't loaded. His DNA is going to be on the trigger. It is going to be on the rifle. That's not any kind of proof that rifle was used in the commission of this crime, and that Tyler was the one that did use that rifle in the commission of this crime. So it's just crazy. Some of the things they say are evidence. There's no photo of him with that rifle. There's no image. There's no CCTV footage of him with that rifle on that day on UVU or near UVU or off campus. There's just none. And so it's like, okay, it's his family's rifle. Of course, it's going to have his DNA on it. How do you put him at the scene of the crime with the rifle? You know what I mean? All right, let's see. Man, we're at 2 hours. We're at 3:27. So most people are still here. How are you guys feeling? It's Saturday night. It is late for some people. Tyler will walk. Well, I don't know that he'll walk free, but I sure hope I sure hope he is. Yes, yeah, there's a lot of sketchy connections with the LDS Church, well, and Utah for sure. But the CIA and the government. I know a lot of people that are family, friends that are LDS and work for the government. Deep ties. Let's see. How you guys are good. Bree Baby X is good. Hey, Matthew and gang, Skarika Kirk. Hey, you guys want me to keep going on the timeline? Is everyone good? We got the ride or die crew here. So, let's do it. Yeah. Everyone down to still go? What time is it? 8:00. It's Saturday. All right. Let me go. Let's go. Let's keep going. Oh, let me read a couple super chats if any new ones came out. The last one I think I read was, yeah, Earl's daughter. Then we have Shelly Blazoff, 5878, new member. Welcome to the team. And then we got a super sticker from Mystic Gypsy. Thank you, Mystic. All right. If anyone has any supers that they want to get them in, and then I can read them as we go along. Questions, comments, anything you want to point out to me or you want to ask me. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're almost to 300. Let's see. Let me refresh on my other monitor. Yeah, we have 318 people here. It's been over 300 the whole time. We got 292. Come on. That's like 20 people. You guys, you know who you are. You haven't done it. Just go smash the like. That's the best way you can help this channel. Hit the like, hit subscribe, click the notifications button. That's how you can make a channel as humble and small as mine, make it in the algorithm, and I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Yeah, hit the smash. I like Jim Bear. All right, next. Tyler Robinson enters UVU from the North Campus. It just references the indictment, so there's no actual footage of that. Tyler Robinson filmed climbing the stairs of the parking garage. Let's see. Oh no, should I have not done that? Is it going to mess up the stream? It might. I'm going to exit out. Wait, it doesn't actually show him climbing. All right, let's give it a shot, you guys. If it messes up the stream, I'll just refresh it. Oh, it's talking about this. He's not climbing the stairs. He's just walking up the stairs. All right, let's see this one. So we just saw the footage of or the Google Maps. Who's this kid walking by? Down here in the bottom left-hand corner. Let's see. Let me back up. I'm just looking around to look at everything else. Can you see? Oh, the kid's already running on the roof. He's right there, dead sprint. So they start this intentionally, like at least 3-4 seconds after the big bang rang out, so that we don't see him actually taking the shot. We don't see him laying down. We don't see him disassembling the rifle. We don't see him with the rifle. We don't see him put the rifle anywhere, put it in the backpack, his pants, or in a towel, nothing. We just see a kid running across the top of this building. No context at all. No transparency, no honesty. So he's already running. Here he is. And I guess we have to believe this timestamp, 9/10/2025, 12:23, and 39 milliseconds, or 39 seconds. Well, I wonder at what second. I know that Charlie was the bang rang out at 12:23, but I wonder at how many seconds the bang rang out, because I wonder how long did it take him to run from there to there? What did he do? Yeah, I don't think he had the rifle, guys, at all. And this is supposedly Tyler James Robinson. He's going to emerge right here. I wish there was a way for me to zoom in. Let's see. There we go. No, there's nothing in that jacket or towel. No, there's nothing stiff in there. Nope, not at all. Not at all. And then they cut it out, and but they could show us him running across the street. Oh, and there's another person walking right there. Oh, we see that. Okay, how many times are you going to show this? Why can't we interview whoever that person is walking that probably saw? And that's definitely not the kid. See, and there's another person that would have seen him. And this car is hauling butt for a parking lot. And I think that's the Toyota. And now he's just walking. And you're saying all these cars and all these people, he supposedly has a rifle in his jacket right there. No way, dude. Stop it. Knock it off. You guys are being ridiculous. Not you guys, the feds. The feds are being ridiculous. Wait, were you guys looking at me the whole time? Oh, yeah. No, it was there. I just accidentally exited out of it without putting this back in the screen. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. Next one. We got public event organized by Turning Point USA begins at UVU. That's another indictment. Yeah, this is the beginning. Does it give a time? September 10th at 12 p.m. So, I mean, they should have given the video of him walking on campus with Frank Turek. Let's see if I can do that. Let me pull that up. Let me go to YouTube. Let's see, because I know that there's footage of them walking onto campus. So Charlie Kirk entering UVU with team video. Let's see. Okay, video shows chaotic moments after. Nope, that's not what I want to see. Nope. Man. Never when you want to find like the actual like video that you're Googling, will it just pop up? All right, whatever. It's not going to pop up. Fine. But we know that, where is it? Yeah, as he's walking in, you can see Brian Harple, Dan Flood, Frank Turek, and that's when supposedly as they're driving up, that Frank Turek goes, we're looking at drone footage, and I really don't like what I see here. There's just too many roofs. There's just too many people. Oh, okay. Let's see. I can do a poll. You guys, I will do a poll real quick. Okay, let's see. Let me ask a question. Let me see how to phrase this. And then I can ask you a follow-up question because first I want to ask this. Okay. Wait. Hold on one second. Let me see if this does it the right way. Let me copy it before I do it. And then, okay. Oh, my prompt is too long. Come on. Okay, let's do, my goodness. Start a poll here. Up. Okay, I have to make it smaller. I'll just say. All All right. Is the individual in the image of the kid walking up in the stairs, on the roof, and in the neighborhood all the same individual? Oh my God. I keep saying it's too long. Oh my God. All right. Let's try that. All right. Let's see how that does. Sorry. That was frustrating. All right. Is the kid in the stairs, in the image in the stairs, the kid on the roof running, and then the kid in the neighborhood, do you guys think those three individuals are the same person? And then I'll ask a follow-up question next, okay, of whether or not we think that any of them are Tyler Robinson. Now we have, all right, let me see, make sure, can you guys see it? Yes. Okay. Tyler Robinson crossed railing from public walkway onto roof. That's just the indictment. It doesn't actually, police reviewed surveillance from the camera covering the roof and discovered that it recorded an individual dressed in dark clothing cross the railing from the public. Then why didn't they show us that at 12:15? This is such ridiculousness, you guys. So they supposedly have footage. Let me go back here. Yeah, let me share this. So they supposedly have footage of Tyler Robinson. Nope, that's my face. They supposedly have footage of Tyler Robinson crossing right here. My goodness. And then, so here's the staircase. It comes up, going over the railing, and then walking over to here at 12:15. So that means they would have him climbing the stairs, going over the railing, walking onto the roof, setting up right here, and then setting up for the shot. Okay. And then they have the actual footage of him taking supposedly the shot and then disassembling the rifle, hiding it, and then going to a dead sprint over behind this building. The top of this roof has this other building. He goes behind it and then jumps down right here. So they supposedly have footage of that, but they won't show it to us. So yeah, I think that is very suspicious. And that supposedly happens at 12:15. And they say they have footage at 12:18 of Tyler Robinson changing clothing on the roof. Huh. Well, let's see. What does it say here? That dressed in dark clothing crossed the railing onto the walkway, onto the roof at 12:15. He moved out of the camera's view for a short time. The camera again captured the individual running across the roof. That's after. That's at 12:23. And then so I guess he goes behind this building. Wait, okay, my stream didn't get messed up. Okay, they're saying, you guys, they're trying to say that he climbs right here. So he climbs up here in dark clothing, but I thought that he was in his maroon shirt and shorts. He's going to walk over here. He disappears behind this building, changes his clothes into dark clothing, and then supposedly comes over here, low crawls to the corner, takes a shot, runs, and then jumps. That's what they're alleging. Okay. Yeah, dropped into the prone shooting position after a short time, which matches the known time of the shot. The individual arose, ran across the roof. Well, if they have it in the footage, why don't they say that in the footage is him with the rifle disassembling it, or that he has the rifle with him? It doesn't even say that here. And then Tyler Robinson changes clothing on the roof before the shooting. Wait, why is this out of order? Went across the roof to the northeast. All right. Well, anyways, that would have been at 12:23. Governor Cox. Yes. So when he's first spotted on campus, he has different clothing on, and then he changes clothing on the roof and then changed back into that clothing at some point so that when he was apprehended, when he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting. Let's see. I wish it had the Dairy Queen video. That might be further down. Let's see. All right. So at 12:23, Charlie Kirk is assassinated. Okay. It just has the indictment to reference. The necklace breaks at this is all 12:23. Flies over his head as fastest moving object. It is. Yeah. Trigger smart John Bray, exploding mic theory. Let's see. Is it just the
actual trauma to his hands? Like we can understand why they would go through such efforts. And it's to displace, just like with the necklace. You know how they show the necklace and make the necklace a part of the emotional story, because they didn't want us to address the fact that the necklace was blown off his head. Because then you have to explain, how do you snap the necklace?
True.
And
We
blow
didn't
it
even
off his
talk about
head
that.
when he gets hit well above the necklace on the opposite side of his neck.
Yeah. I'd recommend watching all the John Bray Trigger Smart episodes so that you can be up to date on what the, I think, most likely theory is. And like I've said before, I definitely think it was the exploding microphone on his lapel and then electrocution of the mic he was holding in his hand. That's what I believe. Okay. Let's see. I can get to another super chat. The last one I did. Okay. Mystic did the super sticker. We got pre-baby X. Justice for CK. We can't stop till there's justice. Thank you all for showing good people do exist in the world. Yeah, in the world still. Black Line Brief family. This is so cool, you guys, that like something we created together. We have like 299 people here. That's the first time it dropped below 300 since this stream has been going. And it's back up now to 303. We got 300 people here, a very engaged chat, just a tremendous community. Mystic gifted another 5 Black Line Brief memberships. It's just really cool. This is just a really cool blessing. You guys are really amazing. This is just a really amazing experience. Do you guys like the back? Do you guys like the update? Let's see if I can show you guys something. I don't want to mess it up. Let's see. Let's see if you guys can see. Hold on. Oh, I won't go over. I also did lighting. I don't want to unzoom. Let's see. Hold on. I did lighting. It goes all around the outside and up and down. Let me go back. Sorry, guys. But yeah, the paneling is also like soundproofs, and it's really cool looking. And then I was still able to put these back up. And we're going to do other things too in the background. And I'm thinking of like angling the desk and the setup, kind of like how Baron has it at an angle, which will give like more depth, and I can have it further away. You guys can see more in the background, which then I can like hide different things, and we can do like in member lives and in lives, I could ask you guys to find things. And then, yeah. But anyways, do you guys like the new setup? Kudos to your wife. Thank you, Queen. Yes. I'm definitely lucky. She's my best friend. And yeah, I owe everything actually to her. Honestly, I really do. All right, let's get back to it. Next. Oh, no, I almost did that without sharing it again. Let's see. All right, the necklace breaks. We know that. And nothing can really explain the necklace breaking. We can't really show any of the images on here, but you can go and look at X, and Blake Bednards does a lot of good footage in slow-mo where you can see the weird shirt behavior that happens first, you guys. And so we hear what people claim is a gunshot. To me, and people did an acoustical analysis from people that were filming from their phones. People that were closer to the speakers that were aimed to the audience pick up the sound of the rifle louder the closer those people are to the speakers. I think the sound was fake. I think it was projected through the speaker system. What you also see is that the explosion goes off, this quote unquote gunshot. You don't see a wound. What you see first, okay? The shirt moves first. It moves crazy. It puffs out in the back. Then you see the necklace break and fly up over his head. Then after that, as the shirt comes down and you can start to see the neck area, that's the first time you see a wound. but you don't see blood come out immediately, which wouldn't. So if it was a faked thing and it was a squib, the moment they press the button and the compressor explodes the squib, and the blood would just come out right away. You wouldn't see a wound and then no blood. Like, you wouldn't. Okay. What would happen is if the explosion exploded the mic and a piece of shrapnel that was not supposed to hit him in the neck flies across, catches him in the meaty part of the neck, and then it kind of gets stuck there. Okay. And then as the blood build up, the pressure behind the piece of plastic builds up enough. That's why you don't see blood come out immediately. You see the wound and then no blood, and the wound is there, and then you see blood. But before you see the blood start to fall out, what you see is this black piece of shrapnel, this plastic piece of black plastic fall out first. It leads the way, and then the blood comes out. So very anomalous behavior that just doesn't point to a gunshot wound, doesn't point to a rifle, doesn't point to a bullet at all. Bizarre. Okay. I think the only thing that really explains this is the exploding mic and the plastic. All right, we're at 2.5 hours. I think I'm going to take a note of where we made it to. We made it to 12:23. I mean, well, I guess we could take a poll. Let's take a poll. Well, let me tell you what the first poll says. All right, so is the kid in the stairs, on the roof, and in the neighborhood all the same individual? 94% said no. Only 6% said yes. Okay, I'm going to end that poll. I'm going to do another poll. Take this poll as quick as you can, because it's going to let me know who wants to keep going right now. Okay. Who's still in it? We got 309, 311. Let's see how many likes we got. And then I'll check on the poll. You guys are outstanding. We have 317 likes. You guys are amazing. That is so cool. That is so cool. That's almost like 100%. I mean, I guess it depends if some people came and then left, but thank you guys so much. Whoever, I mean, and if you haven't hit the like, please go hit the like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, click all. It is the best way to help out this channel. All right, now, okay, a squib never leaves the gun. No, wait, what? No, a squib is like a prosthetic piece that's here, and it's attached to like a compression system, which is triggered manually by someone offset, and then it would explode, and then they would have to pressure. It's this pressurized system that like pushes the fake blood out. You took. I don't know what that means. All right, let me go to the poll. Let's see who wants to keep going. 94% say yes, keep going. All right, 6% say no. Okay. If you have to go, thank you for joining. You have my blessing to go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Okay. Let's get back to it. All right, so we're going to keep going, guys. All right, let me get into it, because there is a couple things. What is the other thing I wanted to point out earlier? I wrote it down. Let me look at my notes. I talked about Erica Kirk and TPUSA in order to just move on and build. Okay, so in listening to Baron Coleman's podcast from a couple days ago, and just thinking about everything, another reason why well, for one, to cover up the truth, okay, and their involvement, their part that they played in the planning, preparation, execution, and cover up of the assassination, but also in order to just move on and to get back to business and making money and growing the business and taking donors and having the effect that they want to have. If they didn't accept Tyler Robinson as the lone gunman, they wouldn't be able to just move on with their shows. All of their shows would have to be about finding the true killer. And so them claiming that they're positive that Tyler did it fits multiple purposes, okay? To cover it up, to have a patsy, to not point at them, to not point at Israel, but also it allows them to say that because they're 100% positive that Tyler did it, they don't need to waste any time and energy trying to find out who did it. That's why all their shows, they can go on all their tours, they can go on with business because they believe that the FBI already found the killer. They have the killer. And that can also justify why she's asking for a speedy trial, why she wants to just move on and just get this done with, because she believes that he's the killer. And that allows them to spend all their time and energy on everything else. So, one of the big critiques is like, why aren't they looking into who killed Charlie? Well, because they believe, they're saying, I don't think they believe it, but they're saying that they believe that that Tyler Robinson is the lone gunman and that they have the right killer and that he needs to serve justice. And, the trial needs to hurry up and he needs to be convicted and he needs to be put to death. So it fits many purposes, in my opinion. So let's see. I already wrote that. I showed you the dimensions of the Mauser. We looked at some of the charging documents. Okay, let me go back here. Let's see if I missed. Okay, all right. We're all caught up on the super chats. Thank you, Mystic. Another super sticker. Queen, you said you rewatched Erica's first speech in the studio and she was literally plugging TPUSA events. Yeah, I did a whole breakdown of it. A lot of my early content is all on Erica. It's everything she did, even with Charlie in the months and the year before the assassination, and then every public appearance she did after the assassination, including her Zoom call, work meeting phone call, and the audio phone call. And I break it down in detail. So if you haven't seen those, please go back and watch those. They're really good. All right, let's move on. Okay. And we still got 295. We still got a lot of people here that are willing to continue breaking this down. All right, the necklace breaks, the shockwave and gas visible as shirt expands. I'm nervous to show this. Let's see. I mean, it's on
sharp edge, right? This whole thing puffed out, and originally people maybe it's from the gunshot, right? The cavitation, but like you said, you've already said.
So the only two people I would say you guys should go watch and listen to and subscribe is John Bray and Matt at Trigger Smart. Valhalla, Nate, no, not worth your time. Total plant, okay? In my opinion, totally attacked Candace, totally tried to attack Mitch Snow. Him and Jesse on fire are like best friends. I would say don't. Okay, not worth it. But let's look at
this, Nate. It wouldn't go that far.
Nope. Yeah. Nope. That's not cavitation.
No.
So now, John, do you have an explanation for what you think might have happened here?
Yeah, that's the exploding mic, the gases that are emitted, and the shockwave that's emitted during the exploding mic. Okay, let's see. Let me exit out. So that's also 1223. Next, shirt rapidly deforms and magnetic clasp can be seen moving up and leftward, inconsistent with expected bullet impact. Ian Carroll, Baron Coleman go deep. I don't know. Does it go right to the timestamp?
No, you can't. So I wanted to get to that. Now, you had some information about
show it.
Actually, before we go, is this, and then it falls out of frame.
Oh, This
Yeah,
is where
tell
they
me
show
what you
a
think
black
about it.
piece of
Well, so I
plastic
watched this, and to begin with, when
from the exploding mic. Pieces of shrapnel shoot up inside the tent canopy, bounce off the inside of the roof ceiling of the canopy, and then fall back down. For whatever reason, this is grainy and it'll be hard to see. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening at 1223 that aren't consistent with one bullet, one rifle, one gunshot, one wound. Okay. Nothing else can explain that black shrapnel. And it's the same black plastic that we see in the back of the SUV that Candace points out when she received those photos. Okay. And if he was electrocuted and this mic exploded on him, he's going to have the cyclonite, probably some of the explosive material on him. Okay. Which, if it gets on people's skin, it can cause seizures. They couldn't leave that in the grass, in the ground. Kids couldn't lay on that. They could have seizures. Also, that would be evidence that people could, privately investigate and go and collect soil samples and grass samples and test them in a lab to see if there's any explosive materials, see if there's any remnants, microscopic pieces of plastic that are the same as the road mic. They had to also, when they get Charlie to the ground, I think one person probably shoved something in the wound. Okay. Just really fast. They all have stuff on them. One guy, I think his name is Blake, with the glasses and the hat and the black shirt, not the hat, longer hair. He has blood on his hands. He has blood on his pants and his shirt. He's down. He's not in the, you can't see him tending to Charlie Kirk. No one else has blood on them. But something has to explain why there is not a lot of blood on the ground, in the grass, and then taking him to the car, the SUV. I think quickly they shove it, they pack the wound. I think they're taking off whatever the device was that was left behind, any shrapnel that was on him. They're getting rid of that right away. Maybe that's what some of the pieces they're handing off. Brian Harple hands something off to Rick Cutler and to someone else. And people are shoving things in their pockets. People are coming over, handing things off to other people, putting it in, and then running away. I think also they're probably making sure that the microphone that he held, that was probably ungrounded at the time of the electrocution, had to be taken out, made sure it was either regrounded or turned off and unplugged, so that they could touch him. So I think they were doing a lot of things in preparation to move him. Okay. And, I wish I could timestamp. Let's see. I don't know what time that was. On one of Jesse on Fire's videos, when they're carrying, let's see, carrying. Let's see. Let's see if I can go to images. Oh, wait. I don't know that I want to show. Because there's blood and stuff in it. Yeah, I don't want to show it. Okay, but in one of the images that Jesse tries to use as evidence for faking the assassination, when they're carrying Charlie to the SUV, there's this, what looks like, Jesse says, a cord, which is this cord that was used to puff up the shirt and create the wound in his neck and blah, blah, blah. Nope, that's his necklace. His necklace doesn't fall off all the way, okay? And you guys go to X, you can watch it, okay? So the necklace, all right, so listen up. The two explosions happen, okay? One, the explosion of the first explosion, which separates the mic from the body. And then the second explosion is a shape charge that's supposed to propel and make a wound in his chest or in his center mass to mimic a 30-06 bullet wound. Both of those create so much force and energy acted upon the necklace. At first, it's shoving the necklace down until the necklace can't go any further down, okay? And then the necklace and this happens really fast. It like goes down and then boom. It has the necklace moves the most and the fastest. It has the most energy acting upon it. The necklace breaks, okay? But it doesn't completely like shatter or anything, but it like breaks. It flies up over his head on the right side. So that one video that captured it, people thought it was an earpiece, like an ear mic that was here that got like dislodged and flew up over from the gunshot. No, it's his necklace, and you can actually see it when you slow it down, and it flies up over his head, but it's caught on the back of his shirt. Okay, and we know that even from other telling from Frank Turk and others, that when they're finally allowed back into the SUV after they've been at the hospital for hours, when Frank Turk goes in there to retrieve his bag, Charlie Kirk's necklace is on the bag. Whether you believe it or not, in the photo, and you can go to Jesse on Fire's video, or you can go online to X and look at the photo or the videos of them carrying Charlie to the car, and you can stop it right before they get him into the car, and you can see it's actually his necklace that was caught on the back of his shirt, and it's hanging down. That's all that is. Okay, Jesse? That's all you got to do. You just got to use your brain. Okay? It's not some complex, story that Charlie is part of it and the mastermind and lying to all of us. Oh, and that this theory completely exonerates TPUSA. He's doing it. He said it in his last video to shut everyone else up. Candace, Barron, to shut everyone else up, to stop looking into TPUSA. Everyone thinks TPUSA is so suspicious, but really it's just because they're so good, you guys. They're just such good people. They would never do this. That's why they're so bad at lying, because they're so honest. But they're not lying about the assassination. They're lying because Charlie told them to, and Charlie's masterminding this whole thing, this whole psyop. And they're just covering it up. They're just going along with Charlie. Charlie's leading it. He's deceiving all of us. So not only does this seek to exonerate Erica Kirk and everyone at TPUSA, it also seeks to place extreme amount of blame on Charlie Kirk, that he's a dishonest individual that would deceive and lie to everyone, and that would allow people that loved him and cared about him, that he would allow them to believe that he was dead, and that he would do this supposedly knowing that he would never, ever, ever again be able to have any real life. He'd never get to become president. He'd never get to do his job and run the company anymore. He would never be a public figure ever again. His kids, his wife, everyone, the whole family would have to go into protective custody eventually. Or they just never see him. They only visit him on an island somewhere, because they would have to keep up the charade that he's dead, but they're alive, and she's still running the company and the kids are alive. No. And then he lets his parents and his sister believe that they're dead. Oh no, they're in on it too. They're just breaking down on the airport in DC when they get the medal. He's going to allow Candace and everyone else that cared about him, like Tucker and Megan, he's going to let them believe that he's dead. Oh, they're in on it too. Neither one makes sense. Okay. The only thing, in my opinion, that makes sense out of all theories out there, and Jesse just thinks he's so smart and he's so right. It's just insane. He thinks that the only thing that explains it is that they faked it. And but the movie Snake Eyes, there's so many, similarities in it. It's just crazy. No, the thing that explains everything is that TPUSA and Israel are part of the same plot, planning, and assassination of Charlie Kirk, in my opinion, and the cover-up. That's my opinion, and it's many people's opinion, many smart people's opinion. John Bray, Barron, Candace, many others are coming along too. Tucker and Megan, I think. Okay, and that the exploding mic and the electrocution theory are probably the two modes of death. Okay, don't overthink it, man. Yeah, Jimmy Dore is awesome too. Yes, Jimmy Dore is awesome. But he had on Jesse and allowed Jesse to put forth a lot of the bogusness that he's claiming right now, which is just a distraction. It's just crazy. But all right, let's move on. So shirt rapidly deforms, magnetic clasp can be seen moving leftward and across. Yep. Rectangular laceration appears on his neck. Yep. With bleeding inconsistent with a high velocity round. I agree. I point that out. TPUSA Chief of Staff Mikey McCoy. Oh, let's see if we can watch that. Let's see. Oh no. Oh no. It literally just made my heart jump. Hopefully that didn't. Is this on YouTube? Stop sharing. Or wait, let me go here. Man. You would think that it wouldn't be. Let me go back. Let me look. Is this YouTube? I really hope. Let's see. Yeah, it's Candace. It's YouTube. Right? Footage of Mikey McCoy. Let me see if yeah, this is YouTube. Let me see if I can mute it. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Hold on. And Mikey McCoy walks away. Oh, yeah. Candace showed this. Yeah, this should be fine. Oh, I didn't mean to make myself so big. Okay. I didn't want to have the gunshot in there either. I'm sorry, guys. I was testing. I really don't want this to get dinged. We're live. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Mikey McCoy, Chief of Staff, calmly walks away in like 0.08 like microseconds, you know, like less than a second, right? He already has the phone to his ears. He turns and walks away. He doesn't run away. He doesn't fall on the ground. He's not in a dead sprint. How does he know where the gunshot came from? How does he know that there's not more? He just calmly and walks away. Calls his wife. They lied about who he called, said he practiced, and Charlie Kirk trained him and trained him and trained him over and over again. Who do you call? Who do you call? I just been shot. Who do you call? Call me. Call me. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. No. He called his wife for 3 minutes and then 3 ways Erica. Talks for her for a little bit and then calls JD and Trump. Oh, wait, calls his dad and then calls JD and Trump. Okay. Yeah. Bizarre behavior. Nothing that you would see if this was something he wasn't expecting and didn't know if it was done, didn't know where it was coming from. Okay. Black fragmented object hits the tent ceiling and falls. Yeah, I just don't. It's their deep dive. I just don't want to hear or see anything. Video captures person running across rooftop after the shooting. We've seen that. That's the witness footage. That's at 12:23, right? Yeah, we saw that. Okay, next one. Wait, suspect. Oh, I read that one. Okay, Terrell Farnsworth. Yeah, let's watch this one, guys. Let's see. Oh.
So let's watch that video.
They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. He's dead. God help him.
That's the first time it was announced, actually, that Charlie Kirk was dead. It's kind of weird. Go ahead, catch your breath, hit rewind, watch it again, watch it over and over again like I did, because you're probably thinking.
So are you guys talking about the chat, the guy that said, I'm an effing tool? I caught that too. I banned him. He's out. He's gone. Yeah, we don't need people like that in our community at all. Let me make sure there's no other ones like that. Yeah, that he's gone. Yeah. Yeah, that person's gone now. Yeah, everyone else is good. That person's gone. Yeah, don't quit your okay, let me get back. Let me refocus. Thank you for catching that, guys. I saw that and I got him gone. Let's see. So yeah, Terrell Farnsworth. Wait, man, I did the wrong button. There we go. He clearly practiced that. Okay. He clearly was not traumatized. Terrell has a lot of ties to what's going on now with Superfeed and the surveillance, his family. It's really crazy that the people around Charlie, their deep connections to the military, to CIA, to the government, and Terrell is one of them. Okay. And Jesse says that he got up there to film that as cover to then film Charlie being put so that it proves that he was, shot to feed the false narrative. No, I think it was to cover up their involvement in it. Okay. I think that is much less of a stretch, much more obvious to me that that's what is happening with Terrell when he does that. Okay. Let's go to the next one. All right. George Zinn walking down the stairs. I don't think I can show that though, because he pulls down his pants. And yeah, he said he was paid. So George Zinn creates a distraction after the shooting. This is a minute and 15 seconds after. Then he's arrested near Charlie Kirk's SUV. Shrapnel is visible in the SUV. Let's see if let's go here. Why won't it show that? Isn't that on YouTube? Oh, I can just click on that. Can you guys see that? Let me see if I can zoom in. Look at all those black pieces of plastic, you guys. What's that then? What is all this plastic? It's everywhere. It is everywhere. Let me go to the next one. Look at this plastic, this black plastic. That's clearly from the mic. It's clearly from the mic. Okay. I mean, to me, that is obvious, right? Is that not obvious? That's what that is. Okay. UV officer climbs to roof and finds marking. Yeah. And remember, Barron talks about that in his recent episode. It took the guy like 25, 30 minutes to get from on top of the roof. He was the officer that was on top of the roof behind Charlie, along with one of the security guards looking directly at the Losi Center, but didn't see anything. It took him 25, 30 minutes to get over to the Losi Center and get on the roof. Ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, well, so Bree, in the members only live tomorrow, we can also talk about, besides like the merch that we're gonna make with like the design of Black Line Brief, I can also take suggestions of other things you guys would want on t-shirts or on hats or sweaters and things like that, like high IQ outfit. But that's Barron's. I don't want to steal that, but we gotta think of something else that's really, really unique and cool for us. All right, let's go to the next. Terrell, let's watch this. Yeah, he removes the SD card.
Let's at first address what many people have been emailing me constantly, asking me, Kent, you got to look into this. You got to look into this. Look at these two strange men. We're going to refer to this as Cameragate. It is Cameragate. And I want to say this, shout out to all of the internet sleuths, the TikTokers, the YouTubers, those of you who are not playing around and you noticed this, because I did not. You can see Charlie's there.
Where?
Well, just said.
Slow down here. He pulls out the chair. face. And
Here we
thank you
go.
for that.
Here we go. Wait, what?
And here's the closer version of that.
Oh, so here we go. He
Safety
pulls
team's
over
here.
the chair.
I just heard them say the active shooter, Charlie Kirk, has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit, is what the security detail just said.
And of course, the guy looks away, but the slowed down footage. Here we go. He pulls it
You
over.
see, slowed down here. He pulls out the chair. He stands on it. And yes, would be a big no-no.
So not only is he is destroying, he's tampering with evidence. Okay. He is destroying evidence. He's tampering with a crime scene. He is stealing evidence from a crime scene. He's moving a chair. He's contaminating a crime scene. How is he not charged with anything? How is he not charged with anything?
For a crime scene, you don't move anything. He takes down the camera that is directly above where Charlie was sitting and would be able to provide, therefore, a lot of insight. And then you can see he kind of sits the camera onto the desk, and it looks like he removes
the SD card. Yeah, that's what he does. Yep. But no one looks at him, right? All right. Then we have Tyler Robinson hides the gun after the shooting. Supposedly, there's no proof of that. We have no idea how the rifle gets there. It's just from the indictment. And then Tyler Robinson supposedly changes outfits in the bush. Again, no evidence of that. Just clothes that are left behind, I guess. You know, just this really intelligent, smart kid pulls everything off, only to then begin making literally every mistake in the book, which leads directly to him, exonerates Lance Twiggs and anyone else, but only ties him to the crime. But he's so smart, but also so stupid, it doesn't make sense. He pulls it off, and then everything after the assassination literally is so dumb that it is supposedly what is exactly that gets him caught. The text messages, the leaving the rifle there. He literally got off campus with it. Take it further. You're going to leave it across the street. You're going to leave the towel there. You're going to leave the screwdriver on the roof. You're going to leave the rifle and the clothes there and the towel. Come on. It's just, it's ridiculous. It really is. You just have to have like no brain to believe it. Next, we have Kirk is rushed to the hospital and declared deceased. That's just from the indictment. Okay. A person seen running through backyard after shooting. It's TMZ. It says that there's footage. I really wish we could look at it, guys. The next thing is at 12:48. So let's see. I'm going to go down to, let me point out. I'll come back. So we're at the 6 minutes after. Let's go down to the evening. Okay. So here it says in the evening. So the last one here, Tyler Robinson allegedly seen dropping clothes at the cemetery. This is at what would be 6:40 p.m. Okay. Let's see if this is just.
If around this time, 6:38 or else, that you saw a Dodge Challenger go by. Source tells me that they saw him dropping you.
What's weird is this. Do you remember the footage earlier that we saw of the kid walking in the neighborhood? This isn't the same. This is not the same maroon shirt. He was wearing shorts earlier. Those aren't the shoes. Okay. This isn't the same clothing. So he had like 5 different outfits, supposedly. Okay. And then supposedly, where's the cemetery? There's the Dairy Queen. Where is the cemetery? I don't see it on here. But supposedly leaves it. Maybe is that the school? That's probably the school. That's the marked location. Anyway, all right, let me go back because what I really want to show you guys is the time. Oh my gosh, close. Why isn't it letting me close? Goodness gracious. Come on. Aw. What? Can you guys hear me in the chat? I have a... Yes, okay. Why won't it let me? There we go. I don't know why it got stuck. It wouldn't let me exit out of it. That's ridiculous. All right. I'm trying my best, guys. I got to add it back to the screen. Here we go. All right. So at 6:48, he supposedly is seen dropping clothes off at the cemetery. No footage of that, just a witness account. Okay. And then I guess after that, but before 7:12, so somewhere in between 6:48 and 7:12, Robinson texts about continuing attempts to retrieve rifle. Let's see. Oh, I actually have it. I don't need to do that there. Let me go to the here. Yes, here. Okay, because this is the indictment. So here's the call, the text message between Tyler and roommate, right? After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right? I'm still okay, my love, but am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long. Shouldn't be long until I come home, but I got to grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to have involved you." Like, he literally didn't involve him until all of this. So it's so ridiculous. "You weren't the one who did it, right?" "I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person." "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogate." How would he even know all this? He's like watching the news. "Then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out. But there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did you do it?" Or, no, sorry, roommate says, "Why?" Robinson says, "Why did I do it?" "Yes, just confess." "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence." Yeah, except for all the camera footage, supposedly, and the screwdriver, your clothes, the towel, so much more, supposedly. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully, they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. How long have you been planning this? A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept the spot, but I don't want to chance it. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. Oh my God, it just is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Yeah. All right, next. So this is what I really want to get to. Trump blames radical left for killing Kirk prior to any motive being established. Here we go. Tyler Robinson seen at Cowboys. So the last time he's seen is at 7:40 p.m. Okay. Allegedly seen dropping clothes at the cemetery. And then at 6:40. Okay. And then at what would be 8:45, he supposedly is seen at Cowboys. Okay. Let me go here. Where is it? I'll type it in here. Cowboy Steakhouse. Okay. This is over. It's 3 hours away from UVU. Okay. I had already gotten rid of the Google Maps that I did. I'll show you in just a second. All right. So this red dot is the steakhouse. And then up here, right here next to here. Where is, I think it's right in front of me. I just need to scoot in more. Where is it? Hold on. Am I looking right at it and I just can't see it? Okay, I'll just type it in. Screw it. U. Boom. So it was a little further north. Okay. So this is about 3 hours away. Straight shoot, no traffic, no roadblocks. Him being able to drive uninterrupted straight there. And he supposedly does it in what the timeline is calling like 2 hours. So let's see. He was seen last at 6:40 and then arrives at 8:40. So 2 hours almost exactly. Nope, because it takes a minimum of 2 hours and 55 minutes or 3 hours and like 10 or 15, 20 minutes. There's just no way. Yeah, he was already gone before this supposed sighting of the clothes being dropped at the cemetery. You know what I mean? All right. And then Tyler Robinson returned to campus and encountered police officer while attempting to retrieve rifle. He encountered, from a distance, he saw someone. He didn't actually run into anyone. Yeah. All right. You guys have been extreme troopers. Oh, we got 351 people here. Let's see. Oh, let me look at the last one I did. Where is the channel dashboard? And I can look. What was that last poll I did? Where's the poll? Where's the poll? Oh, I think I already ended the poll. Yeah, it was whether you guys wanted to keep going or not. All right. Let me read some super chats, okay? Let's see. The last one, Justice. So we got Bree Baby X, Justice. We can't stop. I read that. That's right. Mystic gifted 5. And then Mystic did a super sticker. Awesome. Okay. So I'm all caught up on supers. All right. Dang, you guys, we've been going for 3 hours. Ooh. All right. If anyone wants to get a super in or a comment in, do it now. I can read a couple that are just on the side while I wait. So Jessica, let's see. You said the text was at 7:40. I didn't mean 7:40. It was 6:40. But was at the steakhouse at by 8:40. Alleged mom's friend. She was always say my love. Oh, that's interesting. Well, here, I'll pull up the timeline again. I'll show you guys what I was talking about. So here, let's see the text message here. Oh, I got to zoom out because it's on the right. Oh, goodness. Let's see. No, the text message is supposedly at 3 p.m. Robinson sends initial text message. Oh, wait, this one. This one is at 7. You're right. I extended text exchange where Robinson discusses being stuck near campus, attempting to retrieve his rifle. You're right. So that's at 7, not at 7:40. The last time he was seen in Orem, though, was at 6:40, supposedly dropping the clothes at the cemetery. But, so you're right, this text message supposedly puts him still in Orem next to the campus at 7 p.m. And then he supposedly arrives in Panguitch, Utah, which is it's 3 hours away. And he supposedly arrives at 8:45 p.m., which is an hour and 45 minutes. There's just no way that he could have made it there in an hour and 45 minutes. So I'll show you right here, Google Maps. Let's go to Cowboys Steakhouse. UVU campus to Cowboy Steakhouse in Panguitch, Utah. All right, here we go. Look, guys, let me share this. Okay. I'll open in maps. I'll make it bigger. Okay. So 3 hours and 4 minutes, 3 hours and 6 minutes. It's 207 miles or 197 miles. This one is 3 hours and 6 minutes, 200 miles. You know, even the 197, the shortest distance, is still 3 hours and 6 minutes. So tell me how he made it there. Oh my God, you guys didn't see it. I'm so sorry. Dang it. All right. We'll do that again. Okay. So this one says 197 miles, 3 hours and 6 minutes. This one is 200 miles, 3 hours and 6. And then this one, 207 miles, 3 hours and 4 minutes. I guess, I mean, this is right now and it depends on traffic. But even earlier, it was like 2 hours, 55 minutes. You know, how does he make it from here, which is the last time he sends a text, and it says that he is stuck near campus attempting to retrieve his rifle from the drop point and providing detailed information about the weapon. And this is at 7 p.m. It says it right in the upper right-hand corner. Okay. So he's supposedly near the campus at 7 p.m. And then he supposedly is spotted at the restaurant at 8:45 p.m. So 7 to 8, 8 to 8:45, an hour and 45 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. Am I the only one that thinks there's just no way you can travel 2 hours and 55 minutes, 3 hours and 6 minutes, depending on traffic and time of day? There's no way you can make it in an hour and 45 unless you're doing 120 in your charger and they're looking for your charger. They're looking for your make and model and color, and you're on the freeway, you know, breaking the speed limit in Utah. It's the only way you can make it there in an hour, 45 minutes. You're drawing attention to yourself. If anything, he's doing the speed limit. If anything, he's taking all side roads, which would take him even longer. So tell me how that works. Tell me how that works. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Earl's daughter. Yeah, it's okay. We're going to get off right now anyways. Does anyone have any last supers or anything they want to say or ask before we sign off? Let's see. I can show you guys this, which is the channel we are at. Oh my God, we've gone up a lot. So we're at 6,459 subscribers and counting. We're over 50 members in the Black Line Brief Members Club. And we will be doing a members only live tomorrow. Pay attention or keep a lookout for the thumbnail and the title. We'll do it in the later afternoon, evening. Oh, wait, Baron goes live on Sundays. I don't want to mess with his time slot. Either we'll go before or after, and we won't go long. Okay. But we'll do some fun things in that. And then we could plan future member lives, what we want to cover and what we want to do in there. Okay. What time tomorrow? I don't know. So like, I don't know. A lot of people go to church. So definitely after 1 p.m., but I was thinking like 3, but I need to see what time Baron goes live. Because I don't want people to miss that. I don't want to miss that. So either before or after the live, I'll message you guys, Bree and Mystic and Jim Bear, but everyone else, just make sure you've clicked the notifications to all, and that way you can be notified when I post the thumbnail and the time for the live for members. Well, anyone, make sure you like, subscribe, and click your notifications to all so that you can be notified when we go live. And then, Earl's daughter, thanks for another great show. Thanks, chat, for everything. Yeah, you guys are amazing. Wolves in Finance has a show tomorrow. Yes, he does. And so I'm going to be watching that in the morning. It kind of depends on what happens tomorrow. It depends on what Wolves in Finance releases. I've been watching, he posted his post of the puppies in the video. Stay tuned for his show this weekend, tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to watch that. And I usually cover stuff first about his, like anytime he posts something on the weekends, I try to be one of the first creators on here to cover what he went over. So yeah, I'll message you guys directly, Bree and Mystic and Jim Bear, and then everyone else, just make sure your notifications are clicked to all so you can be notified when I post a thumbnail. And maybe I'll have to do 2 tomorrow. Maybe I do a regular one for the Wolves in Finance, and then I do just the regular members only that I was going to do anyway for the members. Okay. Thank you guys so much. God bless you guys. Get good sleep. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye.